that follow button. Sports Station.
This is Chris Bubich from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
He's back. Dad's back, Mac. We got to be good. I don't know if the substitute report card is going to come out clean or negative, but Bobby Bulldog's back in the house.
Hey-o.
We'll figure it out here in a minute once I get all the reports in on how you guys behaved while Dad was gone. At the
Not one cuss word was dropped.
Really? That's pretty good. All right.
Nope.
That's really good. Did anybody do anything stupid? I got one question, though, and I got to know the answer to this. I've been wondering this since I left. Who won the company shot put contest, the Papa Shot contest?
Papa Shot.
Yeah, who won the company Papa Shot contest?
The big boss, Dan Weinbaum, and somebody else.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Weinbaum?
Team Pop-Tarts.
All right. Is that what they were called? The Team Pop-Tarts. Okay. Very good. Yeah.
But did you hear about our drop bracket? Did you hear who won that?
No.
Drum roll, and
I know that I'm hard.
Yeah, congratulations.
And it came down to that and
BBL Stinky.
Ah,
okay.
It's a close final.
Wow. All right. Very good. Very good. I know that I'm hard. Probably takes the cake.
Yes.
That's probably a good one. So that was the important stuff. I mean, all week I'm wondering who's winning the Papa Shot contest, right? Who's going to win the drop bracket and all that kind of stuff.
Champion at the bit to find out.
Chomping at the bit. Thank you very much. Isn't it chomping or champing? Is it champing at the bit? Yeah, I forgot. I was gone for a week and didn't think about that guy. But
this was this was third place.
Get bent.
Fourth place.
Guys, if you start, guys, you can, guys, I'm telling you, guys, it's men.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back. It is. It's really good to be back. I suggest travel for everybody. It really does the soul good, and I'm being serious about that. I know you're getting ready to go away here in May. You're getting ready to go away, too, for all that. Like, take your trips, plan your vacations. Like, I'll be honest with you, the anxiety level today is 0 for me. I mean, it really is a 0 for me right now.
That.
You will, as the day goes on and, reality starts to set back in. Yesterday was a little anxiety filled. It always takes us longer to get from New York to Kansas City than it does from Europe back to the mainland. It's absolutely insane.
To hear that.
So, yeah, travel day, not a travel day from hell per se, but it could have been a lot worse. But when the control tower at Newark catches on fire, you had the LaGuardia incident yesterday, which, by God, and then the tower at Newark caught on fire, so every plane's delayed for a half hour, and it bumped everything back, and so we made it back fine. It cost me extra money, but whatever. I'm here. But everybody's talking about like this TSA stuff. Let me tell you something. I was in both Chicago airports yesterday and Newark. No problems whatsoever,
Really?
man. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Get your TSA pre-check. I'll tell you that right now. Make sure you have your TSA pre-check or sign up for Clear, one or the other, and you're fine.
Okay.
It really is. I mean, everybody wants to make about all these nightmares and everything that's going on. But if you sign up for Clear or you have your TSA pre-check, you're through in no time at all. And so that's what you have to do. The lines that they're showing are people who don't have that, and a lot of it's made for TV movies as well, because like I said, I was in 3 of the busiest airports in the world yesterday, or in the country yesterday, and it's fine. And just get your pre-check, get your TSA pre-check or sign up for Clear, and everything's going to be okay. Don't believe a lot of the crap that they put on the news.
Where
most
are we
of the
flying
lies.
into?
We're flying to LaGuardia.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Great. Less than a month.
Well, that airport has always been a disaster. I mean, it really has. I mean, it's like planes land in the water. I mean, it's a mess. But that thing yesterday, I'll tell you, you guys saw the video of that crash yesterday, right? I mean, my God, because the kids were like, how does a fire truck do that to a plane? And you don't what the hell was going on there? That guy's like, move your truck, move your truck, move your truck. Fire truck just meandering down the runway in the middle of a landing. Wow, that's some scary stuff. But
Terrifying.
I mean, those air traffic controllers, man, give them a big hug, because what they do every day. I went up in the tower a couple of years ago at KCI. It's a weird place, man. It's very quiet. It's very kind of stressful up there because of what they're doing. And that's Kansas City, where there's not as many planes, obviously, as you have with, 4 major airports right there in the New York, Philadelphia area. And I mean, I can't imagine the stress that those guys are under all the time, man. That job is tough, man.
So we didn't tell anybody where you went.
Oh, you didn't?
We did
Very
not.
good. Greece. We went to Greece. Yeah, we went to Athens for a couple of days, and we went to Santorini for 2 days. And it was the off season, and we had the whole place to ourselves. I mean, it was.
You don't
Sounds
have
incredible.
you don't have the tourists, but you don't get the weather, so it's kind of like you have
Yeah.
to sacrifice, right?
We were
It's
fine
like
with
it's
that.
like a trade in sports. We're back.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's
Dusty's
exactly what
giving
it is, yeah.
analogies. Bob's talking Greece.
Yeah.
So yeah, you didn't get the weather you wanted.
Right. It was
But-
cloudy and 60 most of the time.
Which, whatever, but you don't have anybody breathing down your neck.
Nobody breathing down your neck, and I was talking to a lot of the people there, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gearing up for the the summer cruise season when 20,000 people show up a day on these cruise boats and come in and they destroy the place and they spend no money. They're like, thank God you guys are here spending money in our restaurants because the cruise ships dock and everybody gets off the boat and wears their I've been drunk for 16 hours shirt and stumbles around, takes a couple of pictures, spends no money,
I'll
goes
have to
back
show
on
you.
the cruise ship.
I have to show you this shirt. Gold sent me last night of this guy. He was, I don't know, he sent you the text. But
No.
oh,
What did it say?
I'll have to
Okay, I'll tell
air.
you off the air. That good. Where was he yesterday to see that shirt?
He told me. He sent me a text, like a picture of a text in a guy's shirt. I was like, oh.
Oh,
I was like, great. And the best part about it is he's sitting next to his wife.
oh, okay. I can't wait to see this shirt. I really can't. The other thing too about the off season is that you have the whole place to yourself. You can take all the pictures that you want. And, the kids do it for the Instagram and all that kind of stuff. If we were there a month later, they would not have been able to take the pictures and all that kind of stuff that they wanted. But if you're into history and you like that kind of stuff, man, Athens. I was on the first street in the history of civilization. Like, think about
That's amazing.
that.
No, that's so cool.
Think about that. We were on the
First
first
theater.
street in the history of civilization. And then my daughter stepped on like maybe the first nail in the history of civilization and it went through her shoe. So we had to try to get that out. Yeah, it was.
Did it
hit,
tra-
no,
did-
no,
okay.
no,
Was it
no.
Landed in Greece, got a tetanus shot.
Yeah, no, but hitting like the kind of the right spot of the shoe.
They just put olive oil on it.
Yeah, that's all they do. Yeah, pretty much. And then you've got, I saw the first theater in the history of civilization.
Amazing, dude.
And of course they had, the spots for the sponsors, which they're like, see these seats here that are nice? Yeah, that's where the king sat and the sponsors, because they said the first theater had sponsors to help pay. I'm like, oh my
Wow.
God, here we are
Started
all over
early.
again. Yeah, it is. Yeah, started early. So nothing's new. Everything is following the ancient, Greece. And I got to see the first Olympic Stadium, which was really like, that was kind of one of those moments you're like, damn, this is where the first modern day Olympics took place, but also the first older Olympics, and they renovated the state. It's all marble. The whole stadium is made out of marble.
That sounds incredible.
It was unbelievable, and nobody's talking about renovations or anything like that. It was just enjoying this first Olympic stadium. Then you hear the stories about the Olympics and how the Christians tried to kill the Olympics 1,500 years because they didn't like the gods that the Greeks were worshiping, so they canceled it. And for 1,500 years we didn't have the Olympics because we weren't worshiping the right gods. Like, you people are idiots. Who the hell cares? This is a great thing to unite the world. Everybody's enjoying these games. And then for 1,500 years, they were gone. And then in 1896, they go, we're bringing the Olympics back. And ever since then, it's been, uniting the world. And if you take the Olympics for what it is and not the monetary stuff, like we do with everything, and you take it for what it is, it's athletes around the world competing. And it's really cool to be in other countries because, people will always say, what was it like? Did they like you? And all that kind of stuff. Everybody loves everybody around the world, man. People love people. People love people. You may have differences in all kinds of stuff, but at the end of the day, we're all people. We're all just trying to live. We're all trying to make a buck. We're all trying to survive. We're all trying to do good. And, that's what the Olympics was all about, bringing everybody together. And for 1,500 years, they canceled them because the pagan god versus the mythological Greek gods and all this kind of stuff that they were talking about kind of got in the way of all of that. And I'm like, man, can't we just have sports and unite and all that kind of stuff? I mean, we're sitting in a hookah bar with people watching Greek basketball. I had no idea what this stuff was, this Greek basketball, who the teams were. Everybody's cheering, having a good time. It was good, man. It's refreshing to get away. It's always good to come home, but to experience other cultures, and not one individual, not one person that we talked to ever even heard of Kansas. So you think people hear about all this stuff all over the
Not even
world.
the barbecue?
Nothing.
Wow.
Not even the barbecue. No. They barely knew New York. They're like, we know New York and maybe Hollywood, and that was it. I saw 4 sports logos there the entire time. Can you guess which ones?
Barcelona.
No, American sports.
Oh,
leaders.
American
Yeah.
sports. Yankees.
Of course.
Yep.
Lakers,
No.
Dodgers.
Yep. You got two.
Knicks.
I did see one guy in a Knicks sweatshirt, but I think that was Newark,
Are they
so
all
that doesn't
baseball?
count.
Doesn't count.
No.
Milwaukee.
The two people wearing a Bucks jersey. Not a lot of Giannis stuff. You wouldn't know Giannis is from Greece at all. There's nothing. I mean, yeah, not a lot of Giannis stuff
is
at
there
all.
a kid wearing a Steph Curry jersey?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Dallas Cowboys.
Nope.
What's the sport?
Football.
Chiefs.
One dude walking around the Acropolis with a selfie stick and a Chiefs hat on.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's a Chiefs fan in a nutshell, baby.
But he was not American. I don't know where the guy was. I didn't talk to. I didn't have the opportunity.
He's been bit by the bug, man. He's been bit by the kingdom fly, man. It came all the way to Greece, bit him in the neck, put a Chiefs hat on. Stick in his hand.
Dodgers and Yankees. You knew you were going to get those.
Oh, yeah.
And then a couple of people with some. I was surprised that the Giannis stuff wasn't bigger over there, guys. I really was. I thought there were more.
Crazy.
There were more soccer jerseys over there,
for sure.
and stuff being sold. Like you could. I didn't even see like Giannis. The only place I saw like a Giannis jersey being sold was the airport.
Makes sense.
You
Maybe
know,
that's
and-
why they don't embrace it.
Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
like the Patron of Mexico.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Used to be their own, then it got like Americanized. Like, yeah, it's yours now.
That's a really good analogy, though. I mean, you know, I was stunned. It was like just soccer jerseys and stuff like that. Not a lot of Giannis stuff. I was like, do you guys not embrace him over here? I guess not. I don't know.
Well, Bigley just texted me and said, "Hey, tell Bob Michael Phelps might be a great swimmer, but he never beat Poseidon."
Oh, yeah, he didn't beat Poseidon. That's exactly right. The Greek god stories are so unbelievable of how all this stuff happened. And
Greek mythology bangs.
it really does. Like, it really does.
I love Greek mythology.
It is so good. And they know it's mythology, right?
They know
It's
that Zeus plays for the Chiefs.
He does play for the Chiefs,
He's going to get $52 million.
That's right.
Boy, was that a frenzy yesterday. Well, it's good to have you back.
Good to be back.
The boys are back in town. Coincidence or not, so is Tiger Woods and Bob Fescoe both announced they're back on the same day. Coincidence? I think not. But Tiger Woods will be playing in the TGL Championship tonight in match number 2 of 3 if necessary. But coming up, the matches over the weekend sold, and you better believe it. Even if you didn't watch, you're lying, because you definitely did. Here on 96.5, The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carter Jensen, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you guys, my friends over at Heartland Men's Health are ready for you. That's right. If you're waking up in the morning and you're feeling maybe a little sluggish, or you're not even sleeping well, or maybe your workouts aren't that great at the gym, Heartland Men's Health can likely help with that resolution, because you know what? You want to feel better. You want to feel great as we head into springtime. And at Heartland Men's Health, they're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more, all designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. And with low T treatments combined with the body composition programs, most men notice real improvements with more energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. And if all of that sounds great and you're ready to go, get in touch with my friends over at Heartland Men's Health, because they're successfully treating dudes all over Kansas City. There's no need to wait any longer. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
This is Kevin Harlan, and if I sound a little tired, it's because it's Ford Truck Month at Rob's Side Ford.
You and me both, Kevin. It's been nonstop.
Well, Rob, remind me again why.
Because Rob's Site Ford is offering brand new F-150s up to $16,500 off, 0% financing for 60 months, and 0 payments for 90 days.
Yes, that'll do it.
And that's just the F-150s. We've got the best deals of the year on Super Duty, Ranger, and Maverick.
Okay, so let me get this straight, Rob. Massive savings, strong financing, no payments for 3 months, and people are showing up?
It's nonstop.
Funny how that works.
Turns out, when you've got the inventory, the price, and the experience, people notice.
Especially when you're Kansas City's #1 top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars and over 3,000 reviews.
And Kansas City's top volume F-150 dealer.
No wonder you're tired. It's Ford Truck Month at Rob's Site Ford, 135th and State Line, or robsite.com.
But don't wait, these offers end soon.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have done an amazing job for us. I saw the lawn when we got home yesterday, and it is starting to look like springtime at our house. And our lawn a year ago did not look good at all. A year ago, it was awful. It was dead. It was weeds. It was just dirt. And Aspen laughed at our lawn, and then they're like, we're going to take care of this. And they did. They turned it into the best-looking lawn on the block. And at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, they can do that for you as well, because they've got their college-educated professionals that get the job done right the first time. And you see their iconic blue trucks all over Kansas City, right? Look behind those blue trucks. What do you see? You see the best looking lawns on the block. And they've been doing it since 1985. And at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, they offer full service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. Plus, they're growing. If you're looking for a great job, you can join the Aspen team. Their offer right now, a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So expect the best and trust Aspen Lawn and Pest Control like we did. Check them out at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Calling all college hoops fans. Make your next bet during March matchups at BetMGM go even further with an odds boost token. Simply add any tournament bet to your bet slip and activate your odds boost token. If that bet hits, you'll walk away with a higher payout for a tournament full of unforgettable moments. BetMGM is your sports book for all of it. Enjoy same-game parlays, live betting through all your favorite games, dark mode, and so much more during March matchups. And when there's a break in the tournament action, or you're looking to switch things up, check out daily promotions and offers for all your favorite sports. Don't miss your chance at a bigger March matchup score with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a cybersecurity engineer at a publicly traded company.
We've been hacked! They're through our firewall!
How is that even possible?
They got my password.
Please don't tell me your password was password.
It's actually password 1.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off an HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 4-4 exclusions apply.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. March 26th, T-Mobile Center. The lights go down one final time. Tickets are on sale now at JourneyMusic.com. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on anything. March matchups are here. Trade the tournament in all 50 states on Kalshi. Duke is trading at 19% to win it all. A $100 trade pays out $498 if they win. Arizona and Michigan are trading at 22%. Download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Missouri side 70 westbound gets heavy before Nolan, stays slow, not quite to 40 highway with an accident blocking the right lane. Also a slow spot for you around 18th Street with a stalled but roadside assist on the scene, so hopefully that's out of your way soon. Otherwise, things moving pretty well all around the metro. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
All right, we're back. Baseball's back. Opening night is live on Netflix Tomorrow night, March 25th, Aaron Judge and the Yankees clash with Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. MLB's opening night, Yankees-Giants, live on Netflix tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Almost at specific time. Baseball's back, baby. I'm so ready. So ready. Even though it is the Yankees and Giants, I'll watch every single second of that.
Of course, it's the opening night, and I'm glad they're doing it in America and not over in Japan where they have like a 2 a.m. start time that nobody can watch like they did, a couple of years. We would. It's beneficial to us, but that's not beneficial to the sport. And try and put your best foot forward for what Major League Baseball is going to have this year. I think they're going to have a really good season, and hopefully they don't F it all up and go to a work stoppage at the end of the year. So that's what you got to kind of keep your fingers crossed for. I saw Pete Crow Armstrong agreed to an extension with the Cubs overnight, and so maybe that's kind of good signs that we're not going to head down that rabbit hole of losing baseball. I mean, they're doing so good right now, and it's so popular right now. Why would you want to go F it all up? But then baseball's good at doing that kind of stuff.
No doubt. Everybody back together. Bob's back from Greece. Mac and I are still here being grease balls. But you knew you were back in America when a Maryland man who was a quadruple amputee cornhole champion is facing murder charges for allegedly shooting and killing someone in his vehicle, authorities say.
How do you shoot somebody when you don't have any limbs?
There's videos of him at the gun range.
Oh, there are? Okay.
Yeah, he hikes it on that little nub and then has the other one pull it back.
Unbelievable. Wow. I saw the headline yesterday.
He's a cornhole champion, man. I assume he can chuck a bag from however many feet it is. He can figure out how to...
You have no arms and no legs.
Yep.
Throw him in the water, you call him Bob.
You do. You put him on the wall, he's Art.
That's right.
Put him on the floor, he's Matt. Put him in a cup, he's Phil. So I think we know the answer to this, Mac. How much March Madness did you watch in Greece?
You know what? None. The only March Madness I saw, we got to my parents' house on Sunday during the KU game and got to watch Darren Peterson just watch the guy go to the basket and walk off the court. That's about as much March Madness as we had over there. There was people didn't really know that it was going on.
Well, record numbers is what it received. It was watched by, what did we say, Mac? Yesterday it was like 10 million.
People love it. It's the tournament, right?
I don't even know if there was an actual number. I never heard one, or at least I don't remember. But
it just had peak times that it was where it was viewed.
Yeah, there was Pete complaining, and then it comes out, and it's like, oh yeah, you guys all watched.
But we do this every year.
No, it's about everything. It's the worst.
It really
sucks,
is.
dude.
Like, what are we complaining about? What were people complaining about? That it was chalk, and that you have all the. That's what we want this weekend, right?
NIL's changed college basketball.
yeah.
It's gotten rid of the mid-major, but. The whole argument that we talked about yesterday has actually made college sports way better, college basketball way better, because now you got Iowas, you got Nebraskas, you got Arkansas, you got these big programs be able to spend money and be good and level the whole playing field. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I like college sports now.
It's great.
I do. I know like some of my friends don't like the way that it is right now, but for me, it's gotten me rejuvenated into college sports because I feel like, all the big programs now have an opportunity to be successful. Like, I went to KU, we didn't have a football program to speak of. Now we have an opportunity, if they do it the right way, to have a football program, or Iowa and Nebraska. One of those two teams are going to be playing for the Final Four.
Maybe.
No, they're playing each other. The winner advances.
Well,
right?
Elite Eight.
Yeah, Elite
Eight.
We're sweet.
Well, yeah.
2 rounds away.
That's right. Right.
Yeah.
But still, yeah. I mean,
So
one of those
Iowa-
two teams, yeah. after-
Iowa or Nebraska will potentially be playing for a Elite Eight spot. And Iowa has that.
No, they are playing. They're in the Sweet 16, so they're playing for the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
So the winner will be playing for a spot in the Final Four, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah.
In the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Playing
for the Final Four. Yeah,
playing for a right to go to the Final
Yes.
Four. Yeah, who would have thought that at the beginning of the year, right?
No, it's crazy.
And the thing the numbers were Thursday's games averaged 9.8 million views, the best opening day on record.
That's great.
Primetime window averaged 12.5 million viewers, the most watched first round window ever. And the 9.8 million views from Thursday's record-setting coverage was up 6%, and the tournament viewership had its best ever start, and it was up 5%.
So what were people complaining about then?
Well, so that's where we're at with this, to kind of give you the idea that they think that so people are upset that the Cinderella story is getting basically phased out.
And it never really happened in the first place.
It really didn't.
So,
Look at
this
the
is
data.
only the third time in the tournament's, I guess, existence where there hasn't been a Cinderella.
We have an 11 seed in the Sweet 16, folks.
But Texas isn't considered a Cinderella because they're not ECU.
Okay.
right? Or they're not.
I wouldn't consider them a Cinderella either.
Right,
because
they're the richest. They have the most money of any school.
But they're like
athletic department.
Dollar spent versus success. Texas has to be last in the country, though. With the money that they spend, the normal successes that they have.
I'll pull it up.
Right, yeah, and so like this is where like how when you think about talking out of both sides of your mouth, right? Like you want the Cinderella. And then it's like, well, Texas isn't a Cinderella because they're maybe underseeded. Maybe they weren't an 11 seed. Maybe they were better in the SEC than people give them credit for. Or they've had 2 really good games, which would clarify that as like the new modern Cinderella story, right? Like no one's out here advertising cigarettes.
Right.
But the new cigarette is like the American spirit.
Right.
It's better, but it's not the same. Whereas like Iowa being a 9 seed, beating Florida to me gives you that Cinderella feeling.
Of course.
Ben McCollum is in his first year with Iowa.
Right.
You have the Sturts kid, all that success from Northwest Missouri State. Then last year was with Drake, and then he goes to Iowa and immediately turns it around. They're in the Sweet 16.
That's a cool story. Why are people against that?
And again, that's where we're at because it's not. The Boomers are pissed basically because it's not.
Yeah, they're pissed about everything.
It's not
They all
VCU
suck.
going to the Sweet 16, but in reality, I don't want to see that in the Sweet 16.
No.
I'm totally fine when VCU knocks off North Carolina because it gives you 2 immediate stories. 1, is their coach going to get fired? And 2, who's the coach at VCU that's going to be the next guy hired?
Right.
Right. And then obviously the Cinderella atmosphere.
We had the High Point one.
Exactly.
It was awesome. We
You
had the story.
And you had Gonzaga lose to Texas, which is a massive upset. Florida
upset.
losing to Iowa, massive upset.
Yeah.
High Point beating Wisconsin. That was great. And then you had
It's never good
And then there
enough,
was VCU over North Carolina. And to me, that was fine. I'm not greedy enough to like say that I want to see the actual like 15 seed get in there because then what that does is it creates a opposite effect because then that one team that maybe is a 2 now gets the easy ride because, oh, great, they're going to play East Toenail State in the Elite 8 and like nobody wants that.
Right.
What I want to see is Iowa, Nebraska. That's like rich.
I'm actually looking forward to that game. I think that's my favorite game of the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And like if like you would just like take away the old school approach of like I want to see a surprise team and then look at it as like how can you make this rivalry between Iowa, Nebraska, which just bleeds Big Ten, and it's like Nebraska's never been in they never won a tournament game. Now they've won 2. Now they're playing one of their biggest rivals in the Big Ten, and you have a 9 versus a 4. Is that what 9-4?
Yeah, 9-4.
Yeah, 9-4. Yeah.
And it's like new coach. Kind of new coach. Hoiberg's done the college thing, but he's new in Nebraska. And now they go against each other. And oh, by the way, they play each other 2 times a year. The next time they play each other's football, that will carry over.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's there.
That's all. I got goosebumps from you talking about that. I have no dog in the fight
And
with
that's
that.
just one Sweet 16 matchup.
But look at all those storylines that you just went through, like the rebirth of the Nebraska basketball program. I
Maybe
remember
the birth.
Maybe, but I remember like being in college and it was Nebraska ball is what they called it, right? And Danny Nee was the coach and Teron Lue was playing, and they were never that great or anything like that. And in Nebraska, I will say this, they have some of the best fans in the world, man. Like they root for everything. Nebraska's playing tiddlywinks and they're selling out, Memorial Stadium.
And
so
don't look now, but their volleyball team is the staple of D1 volleyball.
Absolutely it is. No question about it. They play a volleyball game, 80,000 people show
All
up.
my buddies' kids who play volleyball that are either like freshman or sophomore in high school, they're like, yeah, my daughter dreams to play in Nebraska. I'm like, so when do you let them know? Like,
They're not.
Yeah. He's like, not yet. Like, I'll play the guy today. I'm playing golf today at 1. His daughter is good at volleyball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's she want to do? He's like, well, she wants to go to Nebraska. I'm like, well, okay. What's the next option? He's like, probably like UCM, Northwest, something like that. I'm like, that's great.
Great.
That's
It
great.
is. It's wonderful.
That's the standard. Like, that's where everybody wants to go is Nebraska volleyball. Because remember, they sold out the arena. Like,
That's what I'm saying. 80,000 people in Memorial. Yeah. Like so this whole NCAA tournament thing, man, like I think we think they're Cinderellas because we see the highlights of Bryce Drew. We see a VCU highlight. We remember Bucknell and Bradley. And then we really are going, what else we got, right? What else we got from the Cinderella type story? And we want to see those Cinderella things, but then we want what this weekend is going to be about. And it's all of these brand name programs that are Cinderellas, because Nebraska and Iowa's had some good basketball, but nothing that, to write home about. Ask Josh. He sat there for 15 years bitching about Iowa basketball, right? And now here they are in the Sweet 16, and they're doing some good things, and that's cool to see that fan base excited about a program that they haven't been excited about for a while.
Logan Weber, who sits here and does our night shows after hours. Logan Weber, he said the last time Iowa's been like this far in basketball is he was 1 year old.
Yeah.
And Mac's doing after hours because he's got to be locked in.
Right.
And watching that game.
Mac gets it. Mac's like, I don't have that connection. I'll have that connection Friday night when Tennessee plays Iowa State after the Royals game.
Yeah.
And like, that's where we're at. So like, I mean, that's where that is. And I mean, that's Thursday night. And that's just one of like so many, because you also have Arkansas, Arizona.
Yeah.
You got Tommy Lloyd versus
John
Calipari, and you have this Darius Acuff kid that now that you're back, watch this kid play basketball, and then be like, that's Jalen Brunson. That's how good he is at that position.
Okay.
To the rim, controls the game.
I don't think that's good enough. I think that is underselling it.
Really?
Yes. I would say Kyrie Irving. I would say
Derrick Rose.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And that's them in Arizona, Texas, Purdue, whatever. Can they do it again? And then the night game is Illinois, Houston.
Yeah, what a great game that is too.
905.
But also what you you get an Illinois program that's kind of been rebirthed as well.
That's
my
favorite team to watch in the
with
tournament.
the NIL and a local kid. I mean, so like this Sweet 16. I think I was looking at the bracket yesterday. I'm like, this is fantastic. I love the fact.
It's
but
going to be
if
awesome.
you are one of these people who wants the mid-major to continue to have that opportunity, then you can't be against the expansion of the tournament, because that's the only reason or the only way that the mid-majors are going to stay in. The big boys want their money. Each time you advance in a round, it's millions of dollars for your university and for your league. And so these big universities and big schools, they want to protect that money. They want to fortress that money in and keep all that. But the only way to allow the mid-major in is to expand the tournament, because if they don't and they want to keep the mid-major in, the big boys are going to take their money and they're going to go home and they're going to do something else. And then you're going to have a tournament with 64 mid-majors. Ain't nobody going to watch that.
No.
So it's like you've got to have tournament expansion in order to keep the mid-majors. But you said something about you had the numbers of the mid-majors advancing. It's not that big. It really isn't.
Yeah.
It's more of it's like the Greek mythology we were talking about earlier. The mid-major advancing really is a myth in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, specifically, it was like no 13 through 16 seeds. And if you look at the years, it's like, dude, no more than 3, usually 1 or 2 at most make it to the second round. And that's it.
Yeah.
And then it's done, and that's it.
Right. You get your Thursday and Friday.
And it's fun.
And then, all right, you guys go sit back at the kids' table. We're ready for the big boys to take over.
And in all reality, the only 2 that I can really remember, and maybe that's my fault, or I guess there's 3. Was it Florida Gulf Coast? Were they the one that did like they went far?
Yep.
Loyola Chicago.
Yep.
And Davidson. Those are the 3 that I always distinctively can remember.
Wichita State.
Yeah, Wichita State. Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I mean, we're guessing, right? You don't.
But I remember Davidson because
I was in
of
high school when that still here and fresh. That was hype.
And I remember Davidson because of the anomaly of Steph Curry. They also
their coach was a Richard, by the way. That guy.
They also played Kansas. Florida Gulf Coast. I remember that because it was one of
That
those
team was
like
sick.
it was just
they were dunking or something.
Yeah, they were above the rim.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was nuts. Which I'll say, I guess I should remember because boy, did their coach have a hot minute, and then he was.
Well,
he was gone.
like I say, he's a Richard. Nobody likes the guy. Nobody would schedule the guy because nobody liked the guy.
Get bent. And then Loyola Chicago. And my theory is the Cinderella died with Sister Jean.
As it should have.
Yeah. But also Loyola Chicago, all those dudes played together for 4 years. And that's, that's kind of a topic again for a lot of people about this whole one and done and the Darren Peterson stuff. And why can't we just have a program like we used to, right? You want the 4-year guys that stay together and they build the program and they're there as seniors and all that kind of stuff. But then you also want to go after these one and dones. And the springtime and the summertime, you're rooting for all the one and dones to go to your university. Then they go there and they flame out in the first round. You're like, God, we got to get back to those days of having the 4-year players and building teams and building the program and all this kind of stuff. Then the summer hits. We got to get in on these one and dones. We got to be able to have all these one and dones. It's like a 180 every year with sports fans and how we approach the off season versus then what happens during the regular season and the playoffs. Because like the same way here with free agency in the NFL, ooh, sign all these guys, and then you get to the regular season, like, why do we sign all those guys? They stink. So it's like you're caught in the moment at the time, and there's no answer, guys. There really is no answer for how you can do it the right way or the best way. Everybody's got to kind of figure it out for themselves.
It's kind of like Syracuse women had no answer for UConn
What
last
is
night.
that?
98-45 final score. In the third quarter, it was 76-24.
Yeah, you could complain about the women's tournament.
50-8 at one point.
It's always been bad. NIL has made it much worse.
Yeah, well,
it is actually
that was
abysmal.
That was always the joke is we'd fill out a women's bracket and just take all 4 number 1 seeds to Final Four.
Yeah.
He almost hit every single time. Randomly, there'd be a 2, but it was normally always the same.
And now we're all 30-point games. So
the other story locally, I don't know how much you've dipped, dived, ducked, dodged, and dive to the Bill Self story. This was his post game press comments.
Given what you've gone through on and off the court, how much time will you take to reflect upon what is next on this stage of your career?
Well, I haven't really gone through much on the court. I've gone through some stuff off the court, so I'll get back and get with family and visit and see what's going on. I love what I do. I need to be able to do it where I'm feeling good and healthy to do it, fairly well. So I'll get back home and it'll all be discussed.
So maybe the most roller coaster of a season for Bill Self this year with everything obviously that went on with the Peterson stuff like that. And I asked Mac the question yesterday, and I'll ask you the same question. Who coaches longer, Bill Self or Andy Reid? Mac was much quicker with his answer. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm glad you're taking time because Mac had his, and he'll say why he said his.
I'm still going to say Bill Self.
wow. Yeah, I said Andy for sure.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, just debate your sides.
Yeah, I don't know what the right answer is. I'm thinking about Andy's contract, and what has he got? 2 years left on that. But
Correct.
like Andy, yeah, you may be right with Andy. Like I could see Bill walking away and just going living life.
Yes.
Like he does a lot of other stuff outside of basketball, right? He's that guy, right? He's got that kind of the off the court life to go to. Andy's a football guy, right? We know that. Like Andy is you talk to everybody like, what does Andy do? Write up plays, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you probably are right about that. But I'm kind of thinking age. I'm thinking where they are in their career. A couple of years older though. Bill's 62. He's Andy's 67. It's only a 5-year difference, but
those gaps start to matter when you get up there.
Believe me, I know.
5-6 years
yeah,
is a lot.
It's huge. Yeah,
Whose job's more taxing?
I would say Bill Self's is more taxing because you're restocking your team every single year now. There's no more. Oh, we got this guy for 3 years, so we don't have to go.
Would you say
add
Andy
this player.
makes his job more taxing because he's just different because he gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning, drives to the stadium every day at 4 a.m., stays there till I don't know how long every day. Like some of it is unnecessary busy work.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't really know the definition of unnecessary in that profession, but like I don't know if he has to get up at 3:30 in the morning, right? Like you wouldn't if you didn't have to.
No,
right.
Yeah.
So like that drive, and I think one of Mac's points, I'll let him finish it, but I think one of his was like depending on like what you have, because like Bill's always like kind of like random, like, oh, I got Darren Peterson, this could be a solid year.
Right.
Whereas Andy's like, well, if we get back to the playoffs this year and we see what we developed and brought with Walker and all that, I think.
Yeah, what if 2 years you've built it back up and now all of a sudden you AFC Championship berth, you just missed your Super Bowl loss, and it's like, okay, well, we're back and we're humming. This roster's good. Veach hit these drafts. I can't leave this.
Well, I'll be honest with you. There's an offensive coordinator in New York City who left for a reason, right? Because he probably looked around and said, "There's no end in sight," right?
He's not leaving,
and nobody's pushing Andy out the door. Nobody wants. I don't want Bill to go either. When I saw that,
they will literally push Andy to the sidelines if he needs it.
Yeah,
when he's like 90. Come on, coach.
Come on, keep going, keep going. But the whole thing with college sports right now, guys, we're losing everybody. We're losing all of our legendary coaches in college sports because I think of this one and done type stuff and the taxation that goes into the NIL and constantly having to change over your team. That crap gets old. That really does. That gets old after a while. And I've said this for years. I would never, ever, ever want to be a college coach because of the recruiting aspect of things. You're not necessarily a coach. You're an ass kisser. I mean, and that's what it is. And then you got to kiss the ass of the mom and the dad and the cousins and the aunts, the uncles, and everybody, the players. And then you're doing it again every single year and trying to restock your roster. That gets old fast. It really does. And then the body language with this Darren Peterson after just allowing a guy to waltz to the basket on the final play and just walked off the court like it was no big deal. for me as a Kansas fan, I look at that, I'm like, F you, pal. You know, like
he wasn't guarding him.
It doesn't, but he could have rotated over and played defense and gotten that guy's face, let him go to the hoop, didn't even put an effort into it. And the way that he just walked off after that last play like it was no big deal, I would see how that, for me as a coach, I'm done with this NIL stuff. I'm done with this one and done stuff. And I think it's chased a lot of these coaches away. Kay and Roy and all of these guys that we've seen leave, Jay Wright, they didn't all leave because they were done coaching. They all left because they were just done with the BS of coaching.
I think he was just kind of in one of those like pond situations in the game, because the hindsight is the kid took it to the rack and scored because he was able to. But there's also the possibility that if Peterson is in a lose-lose, if he crashes in on that guy and that guy kicks it out and he hits it, it's like Peterson left his man. He hit the three to win the game.
Yeah. Also, he was out on the wing. Like by the time he was driving with 3 seconds left, like that was an amazing play call by Rick Pitino. He brought the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, Floyd Badunga, out of the paint. It was 5 out, so it was 1-on-1. My thing is, Bill Self, why is Elmarco Jackson even playing 2 bigs all day, and now you've abandoned that to play Elmarco Jackson, a guy who's played 5 minutes and, frankly, been hot-ass the last 3 weeks that I've seen him.
And
him, Trey White, everyone. Melvin Council, trash in the tournament. I'd love to talk more about Darren Peterson, but I'm back on him heavy being the number 1 pick, and I think he's the best player in the street.
Yeah, but I can see from a Kansas fan standpoint, I'm glad he's gone. What did we get out of that guy?
Be. Still talking about it.
What honestly, what did Kansas benefit from having Darren Peterson?
Your team was on the television screen every single day.
They always are.
Not
Kansas,
this much.
Yes, they are. Kansas
they led first take.
They
don't lead first take.
Oh, that kind of stuff. I thought you meant the game.
I'm talking like they were on ESPN. They were on calling. They were calling.
But not for a good reason, though. It was always controversy. Kansas gained
publicity's publicity.
Yeah, but Kansas doesn't need that. That's like saying Patrick Mahomes got on the Today Show or something. He doesn't need that, right? Like Kansas doesn't need that. Kansas gained nothing from having Darren Peterson on their team. Literally nothing. Got nothing out of Darren Peterson. Gained nothing from having that guy on their roster.
What did BYU get out of DeBanza?
Well, they got the recognition, but they were not a basketball program. Kansas can play a game on Tuesday in Alaska, and ESPN's there with a camera putting it on TV because it's Kansas. Kansas is one of the top drawing programs. That's why they're always on the big Monday games. That's why they're on the Netflix games. They're like the Chiefs of college basketball. People will watch it. Back in the day when they would debut ESPNU and all this kind of stuff, then they would farm all the Kansas games out on ESPNU or whatever ESPN channel. And then when the streaming started, Kansas was always there because they knew the Kansas fans would go and watch that. Kansas benefited nothing from Darren Peterson.
And maybe they didn't need to. Maybe Darren Peterson benefited everything. Coming up on the other side, we'll get into our Tough Tuesdays because it is a Tuesday here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at QC Kinetics want you to feel better, and they want you to do it without surgery, without downtime, and without all of those pain meds. And as we're getting closer and closer to springtime and summer, you want to be outside doing all of those activities. And you don't want to feel old. You don't want to feel like you can't do stuff. You want to be excited to go play golf, to go play pickleball, to go do yard work, to play with your kids. It is that time of year, and QC Kinetics can help you get there. They have medical professionals that use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science, treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body and concentrate them right where you need relief. And that's how you can go about your life and feel better. Do it without surgery. Do it without downtime. Do it without all the meds. And the sooner you start treatment, the sooner that inflammation eases and the sooner joint damage slows down, because no one signs up for feeling older faster. So find out if you're a candidate with their free consultation for their regenerative treatments. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. The new year is here. Home values are up, and you have more home equity than ever. Now is the time to put that home equity to work for you. This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Credit card balances are at an all-time high. Why pay 25 to 30% interest to them when you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call? Golden Oak's mortgage rate is 4.5%. We have no fee to apply and no out-of-pocket costs. And if you call today, you could make no payments for 2 months. But don't wait. This rate won't last forever. Imagine how good it will feel to have those bills paid off. At Golden Oak Lending, we can make that happen in as little as 14 days. And if for any reason your loan doesn't close, we will pay for your appraisal. Call today and take advantage of our 4.5% fixed rate. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
It's March, and that means there's no better time to start betting with Circa Sports. It doesn't matter how you're planning on betting the mayhem. Picking individual games, futures to make it through the bracket, props on your favorite players, or more. Circa Sports has you covered. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. Turn to Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. With temperatures rising, now's the time to make sure your AC is ready to keep you cool. Whether it's your home or your business, Comfort Systems services both residential and commercial systems across the Kansas City area. Call today for a fast tune-up, repair, or a system upgrade so you can stay cool all summer long. Family owned and operated since 1990, comforting people is what we do. Comfort Systems is right for you. MyComfortSystems.com.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, save more on what goes into the job. Add power to your lineup with a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, and more. Get the job done right. Keep more in your pocket. That's Pro Savings Days. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up. I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid. Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Traffic for DM Law, Missouri side 70 westbound off again on against slow stuff from 470 in towards Blue Ridge Cutoff. It does bog down at Manchester Traffic Way. It stays kind of heavy over towards 31st Street, getting into a construction zone, blocking the left lane. Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law. How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results. Mike's got this. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
All right, back at it. It is a Tuesday, and boy, do we have some information for you because baseball is back. Opening night is live on Netflix tomorrow. That is March 25th. We have made it. Aaron Judge and the Yankees take on Rafael Devers and the 49ers and the San Francisco Giants. Monday's Wednesday's opening night is on Netflix. Yankees and Giants tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central and 4 o'clock Pacific time. Royals were on MLB Network last night.
Mm-hmm.
The Capitan went deep to center, like right center. Smalls, go play left center. That's left. I need you to play left center. But the Royals lose 3-2. Doesn't matter. Michael Walker looked fine enough for me. We got the information yesterday from Vern. He was on talking to us all things about the season getting ready to start. And then right after he gets off the phone with us, like everything that we do, right after we get off the show, breaking news happens.
Yes.
Right after Vern gets off the phone with us, he lets me know via text. By the way, Michael Walker will not be going up against Spencer Strider because Spencer Strider is on the IL. What was it, oblique or something? Yeah, oblique injury. So
see you next year, pal.
Yeah, so we'll start our Tough Tuesdays. We'll go from the bottom to the top. And Bob, your Tough Tuesdays kind of goes right into that.
It does. It's the Braves rotation, man. Imagine losing Spencer Strider right before the start of the season with that oblique strain. And so we'll see how long that's going to be. The Atlanta Braves, though, I mean, they got some problems. Joey Wentz got hurt a couple of weeks ago, blowing out his knee, covering first base. Spencer Schwellenbach, and you know, he's down for a while now, too. So the Braves rotation, man, all of a sudden that thing is in shambles down in Atlanta. I'm glad we're getting them now. Now,
Yeah,
Chris Sale still
seriously.
is pitching, but I mean,
exactly.
Well, that's
but,
what I
hey,
told Vern. I said, you go to Atlanta, win 2 out of 3, ride that World Baseball Classic train, and then get here Monday when it's going to be 80 degrees on opening day. You have a big blue city on Monday morning.
Yeah, people are going to be real excited about that. So go down to Atlanta, win a couple of games, and you're right, ride that wave of the World Baseball Classic. But, I mean, those are the injuries that you hate, the ones that happen before the season, no matter what team you root for. We talk about it in football when Joe Burrow goes down every September. The games aren't as good. The league isn't as good when you lose star players.
That's
and
why they play flag football.
That's exactly right. We want to see these guys play. We want to see these guys participate. We want to see the stars of the game. Just like with the NCAA tournament. You want to see the stars. You don't want to see the middle class. You want to see the upper class playing these things. So I think a tough Tuesday, man, the Atlanta Braves and their rotation. That sucks.
Tough Tuesday, but it's a great Tuesday for all of you if you want to watch that Braves-Royals series. And if you want to watch the Royals at all this season, 15 Royals TV packages to watch the Royals all season, valid at $100 each. That's $1,500. We're giving away 5 Royals TV packages a day. Today, Tuesday, tomorrow, Wednesday, and then Thursday. 5 a day. We'll start it out in after this break. So make sure you're listening during the break when you hear this sounder.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
Be caller number 5. And you can have a name and number, and you will get your Royals TV package for free. Watch the Royals all year long for free.
Matt Caddy, Tough
Today.
Tuesday?
Tough Tuesday. Travis Kelce haters. We'll get into the details and what this deal actually means. But yeah, I mean, people are in a frenzy and they're seeing 3. They're like, oh my gosh, Travis Kelce, no. It's really funny. It's actually great. It's just going to be one more year. We'll get into it, but it is funny. People thinking about the hypothetical of him being in the league longer. It's actually kind of fun. Part of me was like, actually, screw you guys. He is maybe going to stay, but he won't.
Good. I hope he stays for the next 10 years.
No,
you don't.
No, you're right. You don't want to watch the guy get old, right?
One more, that's it. One more.
You read a text to me this morning of some guy losing his mind. Why do you care, man? Like, as a sports fan, why do you care what these contracts are? Stop worrying about that crap.
And there's actually a great answer to that texter's question I'll answer in the 7 o'clock hour. It's for all the other tight ends in the league. Kelsey's a beast.
Yeah. Tough Tuesday. We all agree that Emmanuel Acho is
he sucks.
Okay. Well, he for some reason got on Leonard Fournette's radar. This is Leonard Fournette doing a podcast talking about Emmanuel Acho.
Listen. Listen, I'm trying to keep my mind clear. Emmanuel Echo. Was he a starter?
No, he wasn't a starter at all.
Oh, he was a bench player.
A what?
100%.
Bench.
It says 33 tackles in your career.
Mm-hmm.
It says he started 2 games.
In his career?
In his career. Out of every NFL analyst they have, he has the weakest resume.
I agree.
Like, what are you talking? Like, and guess what? This is our last time even speaking about you on here, but I had to let you know, like, we not them. You just can't you say, oh, Jarvis had a good career. Leonard was a dog. Jarvis was a dog. Leonard, yes, was a dog. Emmanuel was ass.
Period.
Let's go.
So
I couldn't have said it better myself.
So we might have, because he'll keep coming up with these ass takes, we'll continue to have maybe a new candidate for our next drop bracket.
Emmanuel was ass.
Period.
I don't know what's better, him calling him ass or the guy with the hard delay period.
Emmanuel was ass.
Period.
Like, I don't
33
care.
tackles, 2 starts, and he's out here telling people how to play the game.
BBL's
Tough
taking
Tuesday for you. Leonard Fournette has that. I didn't know he had that voice because I know he's from Louisiana. Emmanuel Echo,
which is fantastic as well. I mean, that is just. I mean, can we get Len Fournette on the show weekly?
Listen.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Him and I would get along.
Listen, I'm trying to just keep my mind clear. Emmanuel Echo.
Emmanuel Echo.
Emmanuel was ass.
I don't care that he didn't put up the stats or have, like, it doesn't matter if you played the game, if you can be an analyst of the game. People can do that kind of stuff, right?
Fournette won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the problem with Emmanuel Acho is he's never had a good take about anything.
No.
Every one of his takes, quite honestly, it's not that they're bad. Most of them are wrong and uneducated takes. When he starts talking about some of the stuff in the NFL and you listen to it, you're just like, why do you have a platform?
Yeah, who is this for? Yeah.
Because I've never spoken to anybody who goes, God, I love what Emmanuel Acho says.
Must see TV.
Oh, man, if only I had Emmanuel Acho's take on this.
Yeah, like nobody wants his take.
What are you guys doing tonight? Well, I got to get home and watch this episode that I had recorded of Emmanuel Echo.
I mean, like people want to hear what certain people have to say about stuff. You run to your radio, you tell, I want to hear what that guy's. Emmanuel Acho is like, he's the bottom of the barrel when it comes to people that I want to hear and that I'm interested in hearing from, because I just don't think his takes are educated. And I hear him say this stuff a lot of the times, and I'm like, you played the game? No wonder you only had 33 tackles.
2 starts.
Emmanuel was ass.
Period.
Hey, Mac told you earlier today you want to be caller number 5. Caller number 5, and you have a chance at watching the Royals for free this year when you hear this drop in the commercial break.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
We've got 5 to give away today, 5 to give away tomorrow, and 5 to give away Thursday. You call 913-586-7965. If you're caller number 5 and you hear Mac Daddy's voice, you've got a full year free of Royals TV. Coming up next, Mac and Bob will go back and forth with the Kelsey contract, and I'll just sit here and enjoy it because the boys are back in town. 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Hey, it's Matt Quatrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, I am glad to be back because I told my wife this morning, she says, what are you doing today? So I'm going to Hy-Vee right after the show. I can't wait to get to Hy-Vee, go shopping, and get everything we need because Hy-Vee takes care of everything for us. Whether we're busy or whether we don't have a lot going on, Hy-Vee always saves the day. And right now, they're going to help you with what you need most, and that's catering. We're getting into that Easter season. We're getting into graduation season. We're getting into all kinds of stuff with weddings and rehearsal dinners and all of that. Let the folks at Hy-Vee handle it all. Hy-Vee has grab-and-go food options for last-minute get-togethers, or they can do all the cooking, setup, and even take care of all of that horrible cleanup that nobody wants to do. Hy-Vee has a wide range of menu options to suit your budget, from ready-to-heat and serve meals to full-service catering. Any size group, any occasion, a wedding, a graduation, corporate lunch, watch parties, and so much more. Do it all with my friends only at Hy-Vee.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This baseball season, FanDuel is letting you choose your own reward for opening week. Betting customizations that transform how you experience the game. Make your choice and the reward will be ready for you on your next MLB bet. FanDuel is the home of home runs. Now that you can choose your reward for opening week, baseball just got more exciting. For myself, personally, I'm looking at opening day. Cole Reagans is healthy, so I love a nice strikeout bet with Cole. And looking at the Royals' home opener, fences are in, the Twins have no pitching, and Jack Caglione has a chance to grab the city. Give me an anytime home run for him on that day. So, ready to play your game? Head to FanDuel.com/local to choose your reward for MLB's opening week. FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB, and FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
When Kansas City storms roll through, hail and wind can damage your roof without you even realizing it. If your home was hit, call us at Century Roofing for a free inspection today. We handle every step with your insurance company, making the process stress-free and easy for you. For over 35 years and more than 35,000 roofs, we've been protecting Kansas City homes. Let us protect yours. Trust the Pillars of Strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the Pillars of Strength.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Baseball is back. Opening night is one exclusive game, and it's live on Netflix. On Wednesday, March 25th, the New York Yankees, led by seven-time All-Star Aaron Judge, head to the Bay Area to face Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. A brand new way to watch Major League Baseball, and it all starts here. MLB opening night, Yankees vs. Giants, live on Netflix, Wednesday, March 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Rob Sight Ford, your 2025 Ford volume leader. Top rated on Google with 4.8 stars and 3,000 plus reviews. The best selection, best prices, in Kansas City's best customer service. Visit Rob Sight Ford at 135th and State Line. Buy right, save big, and drive home a winner. Only at Rob Sight Ford. Rob Sight Ford, KC's Ford volume leader and top rated on Google. 135th and State Line.
This report is brought to you by CM Mose & Son, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services. CMMoseandSon.com.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at CM Mose & Son. Coming to terms with an old heating unit is tough, so trust me, if you need to replace your heater, just visit cmmoseandson.com for a free estimate. CM Mose & Son, license 202919. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Missouri side 70 westbound, pretty heavy from 435 in towards 31st Street with roadwork in the left lane. Kansas side 635 northbound, heavy at K5, stays slow up to the bridge with construction blocking the right lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Burns on Deck show for the Royals home opener against the Twins on March 30th starts at 2. First pitch just after 3. All right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
Back at it here on a 7 o'clock hour as we've given away one of 4 more Royals TV packages. Mac, how many are we giving away this hour?
2.
There you go.
2 chances, one in like 10 minutes,
Yes.
12 minutes. You got to listen in the break.
So again, we're giving away 4 more today, 5 on Wednesday, and 5 more on Thursday. 15 total. We're down to 14. You call. You're caller number 5. You hear that wonderful Vern drop.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
Correct. And you have a chance to win the Royals TV subscription for the entire year. So a $100 giveaway basically for you to watch the Royals play all year, as they will start on Friday night. We will all be at Maloney's. Maloney will be there at 10 until 10.
Until 10, so you got another engagement to go to?
Probably. Oh, yeah. So, 1. But we'll all be there. Everybody from 96.5 The Fan, our building. A lot of people will be there as the Royals happy hours. They take on the Braves at 6:15 on Friday night as Game 1 for the Royals begins, and Game 1 of the MLB will be tomorrow night on Netflix. So Yankees, Giants, Wednesday night. But the news yesterday was the confusion of the Travis Kelce contract, because when it came out, he was going to sign a $12 million one-year deal with incentives reaching up to $15 million. And then it came out yesterday, guys, that he's going to make $52 million.
Yeah.
He's not.
No.
He's going to make $15 million.
Yeah.
I've never been more confident than I've ever been that I have a feeling that this one is it. He said in that podcast with his brother that he knew last year, halfway through the season, he was coming back. And I think this will be, you know what? Screw it. I don't know if this will be it, but I sure hope it is. And that it's not a shot at Travis Kelce. That is just a shot at moving forward with the progress of the career of Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs team. But it is kind of cool to see him come back for one more year and get basically the same amount of money that he was offered to do a television show, which is still, I think, what his agent and probably what his future wife and what he has thought of is like, that is always going to be there. Football might be there for one more year. Go take advantage of it. Go play your heart out. Go get back with Mahomes, and then have your life afterwards. So.
I thought so too. I mean, that's what it is. You don't have much more time to do this, right? And so you've got the opportunity to go play one more year. And you're right, Dusty, all of that stuff is going to be there afterwards. And it's funny because we were driving to the airport yesterday and we're playing some Taylor Swift stuff. And I turned around to my family and I go, is this the one about Travis's member? And they're like, no, that's Wood. I said, okay, but this is still a really good song. And I genuinely, and I don't know how to explain this anymore, I get happy when I see Travis Kelce and I hear Taylor Swift music. It just makes me happy. And it puts me in a good spot mentally. And I'm listening to the Opalite song as we're driving to the airport, and I'm smiling, and I'm thinking about Travis, and I'm thinking about all those moments that we've had in his career. And I'm like, who's going to retire first, him or me? You know, it's like he's going on 3 more years and all this kind of stuff. Like, this is fun. Like, this is joyous. If Travis Kelce playing football and Taylor Swift singing makes me happy, and if he wants to hang around and be part of this thing for another year and then signs this contract to, you know, do whatever, I mean, $40 million in 2017 or whatever the number, or 2027, whatever the number is, it makes me happy. I like it, man. Like, life's full of crap. Life's full of stuff we don't like and we have to deal with. Every once in a while, it's okay to have something that just brings joy to your life. Now, I don't want to seem like Jerry Rice with the Broncos or Emmitt Smith with the Cardinals or things of that nature, but another year and a half, 2 years, whatever it is that he thinks he's going to actually play, I'm all for it. It just brings me joy watching Travis Kelce play. It just does. I can't explain it any more than I just enjoy the hell out of it.
Because Max said he could explain the text from the 816 that we walked into. It says, why would they add 2 bogus years to Kelce's contract that the team knows will never be paid? Why not make it a 1-year contract? From David Kopp.
Which I think is a totally fair question. It is what I was trying to search for and find any. In the theory that I found that I felt was the most realistic is that he's actually helping out other tight ends, because the franchise tag is based on the average annual value based on tight ends. His average AAV would have been, or his AAV would have been $12 million, right? With this deal, 1 year, $12 million up to 15, $12 million. With this poison pill of $40 million that'll activate June 8th of 2027, that brings his AAV to over $18 million a year, which is what they take into account. It's not the cash earned, it's that. Right. It's the number at the top. So he's now bringing up the whole average for tight ends, helping out their franchise tag. He's helping out his boys.
How cool is that?
That's what I think it is.
And people are mad?
Yeah, I think it's badass,
I don't
dude.
think he's mad. I think he's just asking the question of why is it, and that's the answer to the why.
I think it's great.
So tight end U
Sick,
is
dude.
bleeding true and true
Heck
throughout
yeah,
the
man.
league.
That's
and
great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Pay it forward, man. Like Tony Gonzalez and Todd Heap and all those guys did it for him. Now he has the opportunity to pay it forward. They always want to say you want to leave the world a better place than what you found, right? Well, Travis Kelce's doing that with that tight end position. Look at how that position has changed since he has come into the league, and how many great tight ends have come into the league and modeled their game after Travis Kelce. And now he has an opportunity, Mac. I love that theory by you to kind of give back and set the bar and set the standard for the pay for these guys around the NFL at that position. That's a pretty cool deal. I mean, like,
sick.
it just makes you feel even better about how awesome Travis Kelce is and why I just enjoy watching and being part of just the whole experience that we've lived through for the last, basically 10 years when this team, hit the ground running and started going to Super Bowls. I mean, that's really a cool thing to do. Like, this is another feather in his cap. And you got to love the guy, man. He's not thinking about himself. He's thinking about others. And when you can, think about others and do stuff that makes life better and easier for other people around you, that's cool. I like it. It's great.
You think JSN's life got a lot easier?
Oh, did it?
Gotta figure out how to make money on this. I really want to.
Woo.
So if you don't want to spend money on a wide receiver, you better draft one and have a good 3 years, because after that, it's going to be the promised land, as he has now set records in guaranteed money and an extension, being the highest paid guaranteed wide receiver ever and the highest paid wide receiver ever. With that $168 million extension and what was it?
120
guaranteed.
The Chiefs saw this coming when they got rid of Tyreek, right? But they never really figured out how to backfill after that, right? You had Xavier Worthy. You have Rashee Rice. I don't know anything about him anymore. So I think now, after seeing that contract, the Chiefs had the eye on that years ago. They've got to figure out a way now to start hitting on wide receivers, guys, because you've got to hit on wide receivers now in the draft. Based on that contract yesterday, I was thinking about it. I think it becomes more imperative now for the Chiefs to nail a wide receiver in this draft, to have that guy that they know that they can count on a rookie deal, if you will. Doesn't matter what round it's in. But a guy on a rookie deal, whether it's the 5-year deal potentially for a first-round pick or the 4-year deal that you're going to get in the later rounds, you've got to start hitting on those wide receivers, because if you hit on them in the draft and consistently hit on them in the draft, you ain't never going to have to write a check like that, But they've got to start hitting on those wide receivers in the draft. And I think right now it's still technically an incomplete with those two guys, but I'm leaning towards not hitting with both Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. I just have to, based on the body of work that we've seen before.
Yeah.
You got a year to redeem yourselves. New Chatty O'Shea, and I guess he celebrated St. Patrick's Day last week. I don't know, right? I missed that. Nobody knew that was going on in Greece. But he's got an opportunity to kind of coach those guys to the level that they need to be coached, and I'm willing to give them kind of that free pass on the on-the-field stuff. Now, I don't know if Rice is ever going to make it on the field, but, they've got to start hitting guys on those wide receivers in the draft.
Would Brett Veach be the greatest GM ever if what he does at cornerback, he did at wide receiver? In this era of football?
Yes, that would be nice.
Where, instead of it was Ward and Snead and McDuffie and all these guys, it was receiver, and you just keep flushing through. You look like the Pittsburgh Steelers in the mid 2000s.
Yes, when they
where it was just here's this,
anyone.
Here's Hines, or here's Plaxico Burress, here's Hines Ward, here's Antonio Brown, here's you know what I mean. So I just always get kind of selfish, because I'm not mad about what we have here and what he's developed here in Kansas City, but just if only the development, the way that he's done corners could be the way he does receivers. It'd be just insane with this offense and that quarterback.
It would. It would be unbelievable. But I mean, they've got it. They've got it. I mean, it's a big year for them from the wide receiver standpoint. They got to get one in the draft, and they got to hit on that guy in the draft.
No doubt. Coming up on this commercial break, again, you want to be caller number 5. We've got 4 more left. 913-586-7965. If you are caller number 5, after you hear this drop,
it makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
You got to call Mac, 913-586-7965. If you are caller number 5, your Royals subscription for TV this year is free. Here from 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, here we are, guys. It is March, and that means fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all of that action. And you can make entries and win money right now in Missouri. And playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points and rebounds, steals, and more. And once you get those entries right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Here's why I love Underdog. There's so many sports going on right now, right? We got basketball, we got hockey, baseball starts this week. You can combine selections from multiple sports into one entry to see what you can do. So download the Underdog Underdog app today and use promo code BOB to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 with promo code BOB. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms. _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Rally House, shop every team in town, college and pro. Come on, it's time to go.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great. Rally House, Rally House. It's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Level up your fandom in-store or online at rallyhouse.com.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
Well, let me tell you about my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. These folks are amazing. If they can take our yard and turn it into something spectacular, imagine what they can do with your yard, because I guarantee you yours doesn't look as bad as ours did a year ago. And after a spring and a summer and a fall with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control at the helm, our lawn is the best-looking lawn on the block. We had weeds, we had dead grass, we had all kinds of stuff nobody wants in their yard, and Aspen got rid of it all. And they do it the right way because they're college-educated professionals. They know everything there is to know about the climate, about the soil, about the grass, everything here in the Kansas City area. And they've been doing it since 1985. With Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, you can get full service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. And right now, if you mention this ad, they'll give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application. It's so easy to have the best in the business taking care of your yard like they take care of ours. Just visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Baseball is back. Opening night is one exclusive game, and it's live on Netflix. On Wednesday, March 25th, the New York Yankees, led by seven-time All-Star Aaron Judge, head to the Bay Area to face Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. A brand new way to watch Major League Baseball, and it all starts here. MLB opening night, Yankees vs. Giants, live on Netflix, Wednesday, March 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and from changing seasons to unpredictable road conditions, having solid auto insurance gives you real peace of mind. With AAA, switching today means you could save up to 21% on your auto insurance. AAA offers dependable protection, personalized coverage options, and customer service that's always there for you. And when you bundle policies or insure multiple vehicles, you can save even more. Visit AAA.com. That's AAA.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
East side 70 westbound heavy from 435 past 31st Street with construction. 169 highway southbound gets heavy at 9 highway. Stays slow to the airport exit. Kansas side 635 northbound heavy from K5 to the bridge with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Back at it here on a Tuesday. Well, you come back and do a show after being gone a week, and then just to go home after the show and get laid. Look at that.
And we got some playing cards in Greece. 52 playing cards of 52 different, fun things to do.
Positions?
Yep. I just want to win, Jen. All the ancient Greeks in these weird positions.
The Kama Sutra of cards. 52 position pickup.
We're buying them, and my kids are like, really? Like, it's €3. Why not? It's a new game. Mom and Dad can play.
So do you just, because you obviously get up before Jen on Tuesdays, do you just wake up and leave the position card on your pillow to see what she has to wake up to?
I don't know. That's a great idea, though. Yeah. That is a good idea. I did put them
We're
on
not doing the salted pretzel tonight, Bob.
Some sort of Greek mythological deal, and so I actually just sent the deck of playing cards out by her bathroom stuff today as she's getting ready for work. I'm like, remember these? We got these in Greece. This was the purchase.
All right, kids, you want to play some cards? The first card they get. Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
So fun. You got to have fun in life, man. Anybody
Right.
takes this stuff too serious. Life's too short to be serious.
Why so serious? So Vern joined us yesterday. The Royals obviously are starting on Friday night, 6:15 against the Braves. We'll all be at Maloney's to watch that. So you'll get to hang out with all of us, plus Cody and Gold and Drew, plus Carrington and Rob, and everybody else. Spec will be there as well. So it'll be a good time Friday night for that Royals game. I'm trying to think when I should get there.
Who do you think that Carrington and Rob will have washed after the first game of the season?
Me.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to get there a little earlier. We'll have to do some videos, you and I. So we'll talk.
That's fair.
We'll discuss.
Yes, sir. So I will be there at 2:00. That's fine. That's fine.
I think later than that, hopefully. But yeah,
Ubering there and Ubering back.
Yeah.
So that's the way to do it. Please be smart and intelligent when you join us at this event if you plan on.
Yes, please.
That sort of event.
It's not that hard to get an Uber, guys. It really isn't. There's no reason to be drinking and driving.
No doubt. So Vern yesterday, he talked all things Michael Garcia, by the way, is what you missed out on. That's his name. It's not Michael anymore. It's Michael.
Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Never heard of him. And I'm probably still butchering it, but we'll just call him Garcia.
Yeah.
So that conversation obviously, leads into what we saw yesterday because Spencer Strider out on IL with an oblique strain. So he's out Sunday. Walker will not face him. So gives you even more buzz because the World Baseball Classic has put Royals fans in a frenzy because they've flushed the World Baseball Classic with their talent. Kind of also raises your standards, which I think is okay to do as well. And Vern let us know yesterday that it's not really Cleveland you're chasing anymore. It's Detroit.
No, I think it's the Royals and Detroit this season. Now, that might be silly, and you could play this back in September because Cleveland is unable to die. And, their pitching staff and their pitching department, they do a great job. A guy like Joey Cantillo to go along with Tanner Bybee and Gavin Williams. None of them household names, but those three, by the middle of the season, might be able to stack up with the Frombers, Skubal, and Jack Flaherty in Detroit, and, of course, the 1-2-3 in Kansas City, which in Atlanta is going to be rolled out as Reagans, Lugo, and Waka to face Chris Sale, Reynaldo Lopez, and Spencer Strider for the Atlanta Braves in that season opening series. So I have a lot of respect for that clubhouse, obviously a lot of respect for Jose Ramirez and Stephen Vogt and that Cleveland Guardians ball club. But best rotation, fine. I'll say Detroit's number one, Kansas City's number 2. The best offense, I think Kansas City's number 1. And I could make a case that Cleveland's number 2. So it's certainly going to be those 3 teams, Tigers, Guardians, Royals. But when I'm just looking at this team on paper, which might be silly, knowing what Cleveland did a season ago and the way that they can rally the troops, but on paper, the 2 most talented teams, in my opinion, are Kansas City and Detroit, and I think that's what the division's ultimately going to come down to.
You know, it's interesting. Listening to Vern had me get a little bit of an epiphany. Detroit, I think, has the biggest cloud and question mark going into the season, and I think the most pressure going into the season in the Central, because what are you doing with Tarek Skubal, guys? Because if they are not playing well at the beginning of the year, they're going to trade Tarek Skubal, and that effectively will end their season. And so I think the Detroit Tigers have a ton of pressure on them to get off to a really good start, get off to a great start, quite frankly, so you're not talking about when you're going to trade Tarek Skubal. And when are you going to make that decision if you're Detroit? Because if you don't trade him at the trade deadline, then you're chancing of getting nothing back in return for Tarek Skubal once free agency hits. And so I think it's a very tricky situation right now for the Tigers, and this is where the GMs kind of make their money. You have to balance the future and the present and everybody in that locker room, because if you end up trading Tarek Skubal at the trade deadline, you've lost your entire team. You've lost everybody inside that locker room. And so I think right now there's more pressure and there's more of a cloud, I would say, over Detroit than there is over the Royals, because we have nobody on our team right now that we're looking to trade. You have to trade, you have to get rid of, that's coming up at the end of a contract year or anything like that. That's a huge question mark for Detroit, and I think a lot of anxiety for that organization to have to deal with right now.
Yeah, it's, to me, last year the thing was we're a playoff team. Well, to be a playoff team, we obviously know you either have to win a wild card or you have to win your division. This year, the Royals have been pretty bummed. They've kind of let their bats and defense in the World Baseball Classic kind of speak for them themselves and then let everybody else kind of say what they want to say. I know that last night on MLB Network, Brian Kenny was saying that he really loves the Royals this year, along with a lot of people are hot on the Pirates. But again, your boy, Connor Griffin, not going to make the opening day roster. I know.
Well, we'll see you in May, Connor.
Right. Because that now you're seeing that. And I think that's what's cool about baseball, because like J.J. Weatherholtz is going to be on the opening day roster for the Cardinals as he's torn up all the competition. So,
but that's what we want. Like that, I got excited about that little story yesterday for the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm like, that's awesome that kid's going to make the team.
And I think when you look at Detroit this year, because they did add pitching to their roster, we did just see that Pete Crow Armstrong is going to get his contract in Chicago. And I think that could this be one of those things that we see today, tomorrow, or Thursday morning? Like Tarek Skubal gets this huge extension, and Detroit's like, now that's the push we need, the shot in the arm to go in this season.
Oh, Detroit, maybe. I never even thought about that.
Because I think it was like, because you can still make those moves and those sort of things in baseball, the way that it can play out that way. Detroit is the team. And if you can handle this division, that's why I say if they can take this World Baseball Classic momentum, go into Atlanta and win 2 of 3 and come home against the Twins on Monday, where, as Vern says, on paper, you are much more superior than the Twins. You'd be throwing Chris Bubich out there on an opening day start, and you could really get the buzz of this city, because in a year where it was down and out for the Kansas City Chiefs and about like Travis Kelce, we all knew we were ready for the next season about halfway through. It's like the Royals. It's weird how sports locally can sense that, because where the playoffs sucked because your team wasn't in it, the season was horrible because you saw your quarterback with a catastrophic knee injury, and you saw your team just kind of fizzle away throughout the year, the Royals just picked up steam right away.
They did, man.
And what's funny is how time can change, and this is just the way we do things in sports, is that, you go into the season like, are you sure these guys are going to be good? Are you sure these signings were great? Lugo's kind of a question mark. Okay, they gave Michael Garcia the extension, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, the World Baseball Classic, he's the MVP. Jack Caglione looks like he's changed his swing a little bit and that his timing's back and his confidence is there. Looks like Vinny Pasquantino had the 3-homer game. Maybe the power's there. You saw the video yesterday of KCTV5 moving the walls in. You saw that was there. And you see Bobby Witt showing the world he's a superstar. And can that sort of mojo set you up? Because I think the one Achilles heel, not to get Greek on you, is...
Which is fine.
Yeah, is the fact that they always seem to get a slow start. The Royals seem to be like the Cincinnati Bengals of baseball. They come out, it's a slow start, and then they get to July, and it's like, I don't know, like 5.5 out. But you're like, man, that means the team's ahead of you have to lose 5, and they've kind of dug themselves too close, and then they kind of give you that false hope that, well, they're hanging around. They're 2.5 out of the wild card. They got a chance. Like, it's not over yet. But if only the Cincinnati Bengals could start their season off 3-1 in the first month, they're not in, December going, man, we got to win at Kansas City. Then we got to come home and play Baltimore, and then we get the Browns. Whereas the Chiefs, they can start off good in the end of March and early April. They're not worried about being like, well, we've got to sweep the White Sox because they're terrible, which they won't be as bad as they've been in the last couple of years.
The White Sox will be better than the Twins this year.
Fair. And you don't have to worry about that. So if you could take advantage of a hot roster of momentum and an early, fresh start, that can do tons of your blue wave to take over for the season.
Well, they always say
you can challenge Detroit.
I think you can. Like I don't know what's going to go on with Detroit this year. I think the Tarek Skubal thing is going to be a major question mark. Now, if they do get a deal done before the season starts, then that changes everything, and I'm an idiot. But that's fine. But I think right now, if you're watching this ball club and you're trying to think what your expectations should be, you need to have high expectations for this Royals ball club, and I think you need to have the same type of expectations that you kind of have for the Chiefs. You expect that to be a playoff team every year. You expect them to go to the postseason. And that's where we should be on the Royals right now. I don't really know what their Achilles heel is. You mentioned the slow start. I mean, obviously, you'd love to have another outfield bat in the lineup. But other than that, there's enough good talent on this ball club to give you the opportunity to get off to that hot start. You can never win the division in April, but boy, you can definitely lose that division in April if you don't get into a hot start. And what also happens if you don't get off to the hot start is that you lose your fan base as well. And I think the fan base wants to be excited about this club. They want to be excited about it. But if they get off to a slow start, the fan base will go, here we go again with another slow start in April. So you got to get off to a hot start to grab your fans at this time.
One word.
First name is Blake, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No.
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin.
You better believe it's one word. Brought to you by Maloney's, the Sand Trap, and the Landing. 3 great local spots that have delicious food, cold drinks, and walls full of TVs to watch your favorite sports teams. They all 3 have outdoor patio seating to enjoy the nice spring weather that we are about to be presented with. So, that's where we'll be Friday night, is at Maloney's for the Royals.
Heck yeah.
Season opener against them Atlanta Bravos. Speaking of those Atlanta Braves, I saw a really cool T-shirt I wanted to buy.
Not the one you showed me earlier.
No, it says Birdies, but it's a golf club instead of the Tomahawk, and it says Birdies instead of Braves, but I can't buy it yet.
Yeah,
can't do that. I got to rock Royal stuff all week, but it does look like a cool shirt. But that's my one word on that shirt is awesome. Mac Morey, take it away.
All right, let's do it. Let's start with NIL payments as far as the Sweet 16 is concerned. I won't go through all of them, but Duke is at the top of the list as far as the Sweet 16 teams left with NIL payments at $12 million total.
Damn, that surprised me they're over Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah, with all that chicken money
second,
down there. The Tyler chicken money.
11.5, so close.
Okay.
Iowa, the bottom of that list, 6.25. Nebraska, 6.75.
You can never compete in college basketball unless you're spending at least $8 million on your roster. Look at what Iowa and Nebraska are doing. It's going to be an anomaly.
Well, what Iowa is doing is an anomaly, actually. It's all
the
kids.
And then Texas, 7.5. Iowa State, 8.25. But yeah, it's from $6 to $12 million are those Sweet 16 NIL payments. One word on NIL Sweet 16 teams.
Fun. Like you may not have the quote unquote Cinderella, which is a bigger myth than Greek mythology, but you have like rebirths of programs or births of programs for Nebraska. They'd never won a tournament game until this year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they won their first one this year.
Right. First ever.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're taking on Iowa, who's been an average basketball program for a while, and now they're in the Sweet 16, and they're going to be playing each other. And the winner's going to play for the right to possibly go to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. That's great. I love that kind of stuff. It's fun to see this. So I don't know why people are upset about it.
Irony? Is it irony that the best game is involving the two lowest NIL teams?
Maybe that's why it's the best, right?
Iowa, Nebraska, to me, which then would support your Cinderella story.
Yeah.
But again, I think Iowa, Nebraska, that game to me is easily far and away the best game on Thursday night. I know Illinois, Houston play. I know Arkansas, Arizona. And then maybe you could argue that St. John's and Duke is a great game to watch. But that's Friday night. And then obviously Tennessee, Iowa State. I'll be rooting for Max Falls.
Yeah.
Because you got to, right?
There you go.
Got to root for your boys' teams, right?
My one word on all that, though, that you read would just be now. That's college basketball, man. That's where it's at.
That's where we are. That's the present. Jay Binkley, he always lives in the present. This is him commenting.
Does he? I mean, come on.
I mean, he was.
Does he?
He was on.
That guy's
Twitter.
an idiot, man.
Yeah, he's on Twitter. He's out there tweeting on the X.
Where's my pizza cutter?
Quote tweeted MLB because there's the 999 challenge as we always talked about. 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, 9 innings. If you don't know, and they're doing this at multiple parks, including Kauffman Stadium.
You can attempt to read this in Bingley's voice.
You can attempt to. Yeah, I'm gonna have you do it. I already thought I've already. All right. There's multiple teams: Mets, Phillies, Rockies, Astros. All of them. The Royals are included. Binkley quote tweeted this. He's not happy. It comes out to 3 total beers with 4-ounce sizes. You can imagine how hot beer would be in later innings to play by these silly rules. It doesn't count.
He even did the hand.
One word on Binkley.
That's my one word because this came out yesterday. Our baseball trip this year is Washington. Immediately the text thread is like, who's going to do it? We're going to do it. Let's go. Let's have some fun. And for a guy who doesn't drink beer like me, I discovered these Heineken Zeros. Phenomenal tasting. Unbelievable.
Like NA, right?
Yeah. It's just no alcohol in. They're great, right? I mean, like these are fantastic. It gives you the thrill of drinking a beer without having the calories and all that kind of stuff. This works for me. Like it does count, and the teams are embracing it. Like that's another thing, and I'll give credit to Rob Manfred for kind of embracing what the fans want in baseball. They've done a really good job of that over the last couple of years. Now just get TV that everybody can figure out, and it'll be even better. But this is something that fans have been talking about and fans have been doing. So baseball's like, let's embrace it. Let's do our own. Let's sell it. Let's make some money off it. And I guarantee you we'll have one of these if they're available in Washington for our baseball trip.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. Lean into it, right?
Yeah.
Lean into the trends. Everybody will buy this. Do you get to keep the little mugs? They look kind of cool.
So,
keep whatever you want. Yeah.
Hey, you gonna get enough beer out of it anyway, Dust, man. A little baby mug.
4-ounce beers, he said.
And then he texts you, he goes, you know who'd be able to do this? Princess Vern.
God.
By the way, Binkley tomorrow.
Honest to God, I would love to see Binkley do the 9. I don't think Binkley could do it. I don't think he could.
Oh, now we've got a good challenge. Let's go.
Like, I mean, a real challenge.
I know what you're doing, and I love it. So
I just don't think Binkley could drink 9 beers in 9 innings and eat 9 hot dogs.
We could turn Bob into the meme. We could have Bob sit behind Binkley with the stick saying, do something.
Yeah.
The 6th inning, do something.
Do you think he could do it? He's 50-some years old. I mean, people don't realize what 9 beers and 9 hot dogs is, guys.
And it's per inning.
Yes.
You can't
No,
scarf down 4.
Right, yeah.
Nope. 1 each inning. Yeah, I don't know, Bink. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to have to challenge you to this, too. And I'm going to need video proof. I'm going to have to be right there.
Are you challenging him to the small one, or are you challenging him to the real one? I think he could probably do the small one.
No, yeah, the real one.
The real one I'm talking about.
Yes, the real one.
He's out here peacocking around like he can do this kind of stuff. Let's go, Jay. Let's go. And I hope they're 3-pitch innings.
Every inning's an immaculate inning. Yes. No, that'd be more than 3 pitches. Oh my gosh.
This was pretty awesome as well. Skip Shoemaker's day was made. Texas Rangers pitcher.
So
was it
Schumacher?
Not even close, but that's okay.
He's wearing, I just watched
Schumacher's the manager.
Oh, okay, got you.
Oh, you said Shoemaker the pitcher.
9, 8, 7, go. You're an idiot.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Skip Schumacher went to the mound.
Yes,
and took out Carter Bromler,
and he made his day.
Or didn't take him out. But yeah.
Schumacher out there with a word for Baumler, and it looks like you get the sense, right, that he just let him know some pretty good news.
Yeah, I think he told him he made the team.
That was great. The reaction from his teammates.
That's awesome.
What a way to do that. That is so cool. And what a neat moment out on the mound with Skip Schumacher. Congrats.
just had to keep the little music
Yeah, no,
outro in
that's
there.
great.
It sounded good.
What was that, going to break?
yeah, it sounded good.
Is that Blondie?
It did sound a little bit like that, yeah.
Dun, dun.
I would have tipped off the TV broadcasters that this was happening, though, so they would know what was going on
Yeah,
officially.
they could be a part of it. Yeah.
Awesome moment. Awesome is the word that I'm going to use. There's nothing better than those videos when they show a kid they're making the big league club the first time. I like how they're trying to also one-up each other with that, too. That was cool, man. Really cool.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if I've ever seen that. I'm sure it's happened before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really give sports the good fortune of creating something as every sport is a copycat league. But that was awesome because that was in the Royals game last night. Like that was Texas Rangers team. Skip Schumacher's is it his first year as their manager?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like way to set your foundation. Like
That's cool.
break the fourth wall and go out there and like take the game that's not so serious and make it really fun. And then they interviewed him. They interviewed the pitcher afterwards. Super cool thing. So I would say that was awesome.
Yeah, they don't do that really in any other sport, right? There's no other sport that makes a big deal over making that opening day roster because I don't think any other sport is a big deal like it is for Major League Baseball.
No, definitely not. Pete Prisco, CBS Sports mock draft, have the Chiefs at number 9 taking tackle out of Miami, Francis Mamigoa, one word.
Boo.
Offensive tackle, yeah.
Who they can convert to a guard. I would boo that pick. I don't like that pick. Not at all. Hate it. BBL stinky. But that's all. Pete Prisco's a Chiefs hater, too, so he penned some right tackle in his mock draft.
My one word would be boring. That would be my one word on that.
Why are we still talking about a right tackle, guys?
I do not know.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, though. That's what I always fear.
They also said they were going to take a linebacker and drafted Patrick Mahomes, too.
I tried to convince Dusty that we could bring back Jawan Taylor for on the cheap.
Is he not signed anywhere yet?
He's not.
Yeah. We can talk about that a little bit later.
I don't hate that idea.
Figured. You truthers out there. Go get your jerseys. Go get your shine box.
Would you rather have Jawan Taylor back I love that reference, by the way. I made my daughter watch Goodfellas on the plane, by the way.
Interesting.
Yeah. She made me watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I bet you loved
switch.
It was good. She goes, "You like the soundtrack, didn't you?" I go, "The soundtrack was really good." But I thought Chris Pratt was fantastic in that movie.
Your love.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. Where were we going with this?
I don't know.
You
said
did
get your shine box.
You threw me off. Jawan Taylor. Let me ask you this. Would you rather have one more year of Jawan Taylor or take an offensive tackle at number 9?
Oh, offensive tackle at number 9.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I don't want to hear offsides or false start.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll take one.
What if they got rid of offsides in football?
Well, then you wouldn't be able to do the Cody Tap cadence.
That is true, yeah.
Coming up next, I think the coaches are more important than the players in this tournament coming up in the Sweet 16. I'll explain. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carlos Esteves, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you, my friends over at the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 are bringing together the entire community because that's what they do. They're uniting everybody over at Sheet Metal Workers Number 2. If you're an HVAC contractor, they'll provide a flexible workforce for your project demands, timelines, and economic conditions. And there's absolutely no cost to become a partner contractor with the Sheet Metal Workers. The Sheet Metal Workers will help adjust the size, the skills, and deployment of your workforce to maximize effectiveness during the times when you need it the most, giving you the power to bid every project that suits your business model. They'll provide the best trained manpower specifically for the HVAC industry, along with training for your current employees. And Local 2 has spent over 137 years developing relationships right here in Kansas City. And there's absolutely no downside. It's completely free and zero obligation. Just straightforward information on how they can help grow your business and your profit margins. Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. We're an old union with a new perspective on business. Learn more at sheetmetal2.org.
Ever wonder why Fanatics Sportsbook is America's fastest online growing sportsbook? Other sportsbooks? Well, their rewards are just the same old, But Fan Cash is the ultimate sports currency, and betting with Fanatics lets you stack Fan Cash. With Fanatics Sportsbook, you can get up to 10% Fan Cash back on your wagers, win or lose. Use your Fan Cash to unlock the world of Fanatics with unlimited profit boosts, exclusive merch, collectibles, and so much more. If you want value for bets, Fanatics will always have your back. And don't forget about Fan Cash draws. It's simple. Choose your draw and enter with Fan Cash for a shot at no sweat bets, casino credit, premium sports experiences, tickets, and more. Extraordinary prizes await. Did I also mention they are giving away millions in Fan Cash this year with games like Fan Cash Drop? Tap in every Friday and see what the fuss is all about. Switch to a sportsbook that will always give you more to play with. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Sex, intimacy, love. These three things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Lee Summit, US 50 westbound heavy from 291 south up to Chipman with an accident just the right shoulder getting by. Things slow on the Grandview Triangle, 470 westbound, 49 northbound, also quite heavy. Kansas side, 435 southbound off again on again heavy from Holiday Drive to Shawnee Mission Parkway with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
We'll get to more and more of what Bob missed while he was gone, because you would have been so proud of your son, Alex Gold, that we now call Alexander Gold.
Oh, he changed his name.
No, we changed it for him. He went full heel. So there's a heel group called the Golden Standard here, led by Alexander Gold. I'll explain to you here. So Drew, Wisconsin fan.
Why?
I'm not 100% sure.
Family or something.
Something's there. I don't know.
He likes cheese, light beer, and women that smoke Marlboro Lights.
No, that's me.
Oh.
But so Drew is a Wisconsin fan. Well, Wisconsin drew High Point. What was the upset in the first round?
High Point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, being Alex, reaches out to his audience because he can't go out to eat because he's too famous. So he decides to double down on that and say, man, I might need to get a High Point jersey. Somebody listen.
Oh, come on, Alex.
So somebody listening did not get him a shirt. They got him a High Point jersey. Well, they did their show Thursday and Friday from the International Tap House in the Crossroads. Right? That's where I do trivia on Wednesdays, is at the ITAP and Lee Summit, which they gave me a shirt that says Lee Summit ITAP. It looks great. I'm not sure I can fit into it yet, but it's either way. So Alex roots for him. They're doing this whole thing. High Point wins, and he takes a selfie of him in the High Point jersey with a with a cocky smile, a heel turn. So
can I just say something that's going to piss Alex off?
I mean, it's up to you.
Okay, I'm going to say it. You're acting like a Missouri fan, Alex.
Oh, dang.
Get bent.
So the golden standard, the heel group is him, Carrington, and you.
Okay.
So you guys are the group of heels. Mac, I told him he'll never be able to go heel. He's too baby faced.
Yeah.
I can be persuaded.
Yeah.
You know that.
How did I go heel? What did I go heel with?
Well, I don't know.
You have your
just seem like
backstories.
you can lean into the heel role because you can be like, you've got the.
I mean, I guess I just did. I called Alex a Missouri fan.
Yeah.
But that's what you're acting like, Alex. You're acting like a Missouri fan. You're
And
an
so-
idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
You've got the golden standard, man.
Wow.
Somebody
Standard.
says Drew's grandparents
Are from Wisconsin?
from Wisconsin or something like that, so he's got some sort of family tie.
Was this like a big deal for Drew, though? I mean, or is it just Alex trying to go full heel on Drew on this one? Because, again, when Bucknell and Bradley won, and every Missouri fan got a Bucknell and a Bradley T-shirt, we all sat here and went, oh, my God, root for your own team. Alex, you're a Missouri Tiger.
You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, that's a Missouri Tiger move right there. And it's for Wisconsin. It's not like it's not even like a team that's his like favorite or something. Like
You don't go to the school, you can't root for him. Then why are you wearing a High Point jersey?
I mean, that is so Missouri Tiger-ish of Alex.
It was great. It was theater everywhere. It was, what do they call it? Absolute cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we leaned into that. So now he's Alexander Gold when he gets to the heel.
I'm going to slap a Tiger logo on his car.
Well, maybe his actual car.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got a pretty good endorsement going on because you might slap a sticker on your own car.
Yeah.
Because he's driving that Bronco that you drive. So this Sweet 16 is loaded to me with perfect games. But boy, are the coaching matchups awesome. Right? Ben McCullum versus Fred Hoiberg. That's at 9-4 Nebraska. McCullum has all the local kids that went to Northwest Missouri State. His best player, Liberty High School grad in Sturts. And then you have, obviously, the story that he kind of became this coach of last year at Drake. And then he and that turd guy at Florida were going back at it. Todd Golden were going back at it. And it was funny to watch that.
Isn't he kind of a heel, though, for a lot of people because he slowly left Drake after 1 year or whatever it was?
That part. Yes, that's true.
He's maybe a heel in Drake, but I mean, he's a damn face in Iowa until he goes to KU.
Yeah, he took two other players with him.
Yeah, no doubt. So then you have that. Then you got Tommy Lloyd versus Calipari. And Tommy Lloyd, if you ask some people in Lawrence, you ask people, not that he would ever do it, but if Bill wants to hang it up, a lot of people in Lawrence want him to get a phone call from the University of Kansas. Tommy Lloyd, good coach at Arizona. Calipari, obviously.
Everybody will be calling Kansas if that job opens, regardless of where they're coaching right now.
And then how about the late game on Thursday? These two coaches, Brad Underwood versus Kelvin Sampson.
That's a good one, yeah.
Houston, Illinois will be absolute theater to watch. That's going to be a great game.
So ticked it's at 9 on Thursday.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
Fridays are fun shows, and we'll be all right, right? We got a Royals game. We can fill that with some Royals cast.
We're not Carrington.
Yeah, we're not, because he could stay up and watch the entire game wide awake.
But he gets off all the Royals games when they play during the day.
Well, they play at 6:15. Burn will go on at, 5?
Yeah.
So, or maybe 4:15. Still a short show. But, you've got those two guards for Illinois and Houston, right? You've got Wagler.
Oh. That game's taking place in Houston, too.
Oh, the game is in Houston, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
tough.
I don't know if that matters. Is that a fan base that matters?
What's your take on college sports? The biggest advantage in college sports is
the coaches and the crowds, but I don't know if Houston has that type of follow. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're going to get a true, like if KU plays in Kansas City, that's a different.
Also, Houston, not super far from Illinois. Not like you have to go. It's south.
That's
pretty
far.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty
Houston's
far. 12 hours from here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're flying.
Yeah, that's a flight.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about travel. The one I love the most, the matchup when it comes to the coaches, not the matchup of the games, But John Shire versus Rick Pitino, St. John's, and Duke, that is going to be awesome.
Old guard, new guard.
Yeah, but old school versus old school when you talk about schools, too.
Yeah.
Like St. John's and Duke just feels like college basketball.
It does.
But I'm glad you're bringing up some of these coaches because we need a rebirth of some famous coaches in college basketball with all the big boys leaving, potentially Bill now walking out the door if that happens. And you got to get a rebirth of these coaches because those have been the old standbys, for all of these years in college basketball.
Well, and if you've noticed, like as we've gotten further into the tournament, the coaches are slowly but surely becoming the story of this tournament. Now, I know the freshmen that are still in there are big and massive storylines as well. But you go from Shire to Pitino to Tom Izzo versus Dan Hurley.
I like to see Izzo punch him in the nose.
Yeah, but that's what's great is these are the two most opposite guys there are. Hurley has one more than Izzo. Yep. We know that March is Izzo's month. They said in the TV broadcast, that was funny, in calendars in Michigan, it goes January, February, Izzo.
Yeah.
April, May, June,
But he only
July.
has one national championship.
Correct.
So why do we continue to say that?
Because he has a ton of Final Four.
This was my soapbox yesterday, Bob. You do not judge college coaches or college basketball coaches that is off of championships.
No, you judge them on Final Fours. You really do.
Or even Elite Eights or appearances or what they've done. Tom Izzo has made Elite Eights or Sweet 16s, even Final Fours with teams that were not favored to do so. Got to think about context. Same with what I'd say with Mark Few. Mark Few has made the Final Four before as a Cinderella story.
But I'm sure if you ask Tom Izzo, he's probably saying, I'd like to get one more, though.
Well, of course he would.
You got to get that one more, that second one really put, like I remember when Bill got a second, how important that was to put you in to that rarefied air. Because there's not many coaches that have won multiple national championships. And I do agree with that. Like you shouldn't just judge them on those championships. I know from being around the college game for as long as I have been, they make the Final Four, everybody feels really good. Like that's the goal, is to make the Final Four, and then anything else that happens after that, hey man, we'll just let the chips fall where they may.
This is my future KU coaching possibility matchup. It is Dusty May versus Nate Oates. That's the Michigan-Alabama matchup.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Both those guys could be top candidates for that job.
Oh, Jock's getting that job.
And then
You'd think.
and then the last one is Otzelberger, which is another name that Gold, who is also a big fan of KU, obviously his alumni, he said he wouldn't mind seeing Otzelberger be the head coach.
I would hate that.
Versus Ricky Barnes, Max Tennessee Vols coach, who
There we
also could really use a national championship in
big time.
his mind.
Yeah, he could do that. Otzelberger, man, he may choke with that shirt being so damn tight. That's ridiculous. That's a terrible look.
Geek haircut, too. Big geek time.
Yeah, that guy's
haircut.
he's not a KU guy. He ain't getting that job.
No.
Alex, you're a Missouri Tiger.
Ooh, such a smooth ride, Alexander Gold.
It's really disappointing. I thought I raised you better, Alex.
So we've done it 3 times so far this morning. We're going to do it another time here. So when you hear the Vern drop during the break, which is we played it all year or all morning.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
That's right. When you hear that drop in the commercial break, you want to be caller number 5 at 913-586-7965, and you've got a chance to watch the Kansas City Royals for free this entire year as you will have your Royals TV subscription paid for from us to you, as we have 2 more opportunities to do today, and then we will do 5 more on Wednesday and 5 more on Thursday as we will continue this show moving forward. We'll get to Bob's Bonehead of the Week on the other side here at 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Jack Caglione, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Weekday morning starting at 6 right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Fellas, you know what time of the year it is. It's the season of love. Sex, intimacy, and love are essential to fulfilling relationships. Erectile dysfunction, though, can take a serious toll on all of that, stealing enjoyment, weakening intimacy, and placing stress on partners that can feel overwhelming. But ED doesn't have to continue impacting your relationship. Remember, men, it's not just about you. We all understand how important sex is in a relationship for you and for your partner. Erectile dysfunction can take that away, often creating serious strain on the relationship as well. That's why you should go see my people over at Heartland Men's Health. Heartland Men's Health treatments work when the pills or the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to the sex, intimacy, and love and bring you closer together. Heartland Men's Health has 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Kansas; Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit; and North Kansas City. Call them today at 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right?
Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite. That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage. It just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Well, we finally made it. It's spring, and I have spring fever. I love getting outside and cooking on the flat top or the grill, and Hy-Vee has the best meat department in KC. They've got the freshest, top-quality cuts of corn-fed beef from the Midwest and the best prices in town. They also have bacon-wrapped chicken breast and stuffed pork chops, plus the fresh seafood we love at home. Making a meal with a twice-baked potato. It's the best meat department in town. They've got the steaks, they've got the chicken, they've got the seafood, and you can get it only at Hy-Vee.
3, 2, 1. It's mid-March, and Kansas City is crazy about college hoops. Pick your bracket, call your friends, and count on Hy-Vee for all your game day snacks. Hy-Vee makes your watch party easy with a huge selection of ready-to-serve party trays, boneless wings, barbecue, sushi, pizza, and fresh bakery goods. Order ahead through the Hy-Vee app, online, or at your favorite store. Even if your bracket is a bust, your watch party will be a winner, only at Hy-Vee.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on anything. March matchups are here. Trade the tournament in all 50 states on Kalshi. Duke is trading at 19% to win it all. A $100 trade pays out $498 if they win. Arizona and Michigan are trading at 22%. Download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. Trade on anything. Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Lee Summit, US 50 westbound, heavy from 291 south up to Chipman, where only the right lane gets by. Kansas side, K10 eastbound, heavy from Cedar Creek Parkway past K7. 435 southbound, very slow from K32 down to Shawnee Mission Parkway with construction. Allen Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
What's up, KC? It's Matt Strom from the Kansas City Royals. Don't miss Vern's On Deck show 1 hour before first pitch right here on 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Don't forget that baseball's back starting Wednesday night. That's tomorrow night, and it's on Netflix. March 25th as Judge and the Yankees clash with Devers and the San Francisco Giants. It's opening night. It's Yankees-Giants live tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Pacific time.
4.
On Netflix. So, 4 o'clock. Sorry, 4 o'clock.
It doesn't matter for us. We're not watching it there.
Yeah.
Are we?
To be specific, it is at 4
Pacific.
Surprised nobody had Dan Orlovsky as a tough Tuesday. Dan Orlovsky's resume. Zach Wilson is elite. Mac Jones would win a Super Bowl with Bill and the Pats. Said that Stroud was a terrible quarterback. heavy criticism against Josh Allen, and now he thinks that Ty Simpson is the best quarterback in this draft.
Who put that together? Please tell me.
Joshua Jacopati on Twitter.
What a resume! That is the ultimate receipt keeper right there. I like that. That's good. Feel bad for Dano. He takes himself too seriously.
He's a good dude.
He is a good dude, but he takes himself too serious, you know?
Mm-hmm. Was he the one that, he did have.
Yeah, Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are the modern day Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
So there's Dano as well, if you wanted that.
The pen drop.
Crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. You are back. You were in Greece.
Yeah.
Good to have you back in the States and on the
Thank
show.
you. It's good to be back.
It is a Tuesday, so we're not gonna, not gonna change anything else. So here we go.
Yep.
Bob's Boneheads.
You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. So I love traveling because you find out about things that you didn't know about, right? You have new experiences and see things and your eyes are open and you learn some history. Well, we learned a lot about the Olympics when we were in Athens, right? We saw the first Olympic stadium and I thought, man, that is really cool. And then you start to hear the background of the Olympics, and the Olympics were actually going on thousands of years before the modern day Olympic Games. That was until Theodosius I, the Emperor of Rome, took over, and he was leading from 379 to 395. Well, long back when Kling was covering those first Olympic Games, right? Way back in that day. And I'll just read you this story. And for almost 2,000 years, the Olympic Games ceased to exist because of this Roman Emperor Theodosius. He was the last emperor to rule over both the eastern and western halves of the Roman Empire. And he decided to say, we're not having the Olympic Games anymore because they're honoring the Greek mythological gods as opposed to the Christian God that we want them to honor. So this guy canceled the Olympic Games because of some religious conflict that they didn't like and deprived all of the citizens of competing in sports for almost 2,000 years. 2,000 years they shut down sports because it wasn't honoring the right gods. I mean, this is what they were dealing with back in 379.
Yeah.
What were you doing in 379, Kling? Which side were you on in this one? So for almost 2,000 years, they didn't have the Olympic Games. And then in 1896, they decided to have the first modern Olympic Games, and they did it basically in the same stadium. They had those games from 1,000 years prior, 1,500 years prior. They redid the stadium with some new marble. It's still in place today. You can sit in all those. It's unbelievable. It is just unbelievable to think about the history. But my bonehead goes to that guy because why Theodosius I, the emperor of Rome from 379 to 395, are you canceling sports because they didn't honor the right mythological god or whatever they were talking about in Greek and Roman mythology back in the day? Easy. I mean, to let something like that get in the way. Could you imagine that today? All right, basketball is done because you're honoring Zeus. I mean, we did that kind of stuff. And so that's my bonehead because sports is the great uniter. Being overseas and being in Europe, you can see we're all people, right? We all love each other. You know, everybody wants to just have a good life and enjoy themselves. And you don't want to let conflict and all that kind of stuff get in the way. And I think sports is the ultimate unifier. No matter what walk of life you come from, we all come together to root for the Chiefs, or we all come together to root for the Royals. We all come together to root for whatever team it was. How motivated were you about the Olympics this year? I mean, how great were those Olympic Games that we just witnessed in Italy back in February? How awesome was that United States hockey team, both the men and the women, going after the Canadians and winning those games? Imagine if we never restarted those Olympic Games back in 1896 and we just kind of let it go away because somebody, thousands of years prior didn't like Athena, and so we ended the Olympic Games. And so we went 1,500 years basically without having those Olympic Games. And then they got smarter and they decided, you know what? Let's bring the sports back, and what that did and what that created and the atmosphere and the ability to have everybody from all over the world in one place competing at their best and having fun and bridging the gap and bringing people together. That's what sports ultimately does. And we've talked about it all the time, dating back to 2014 with the Royals and how they united this city. And since then, this city has grown up and taken off. And then fast forward to the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens. Because of those Olympic Games, they got a subway system in Athens that moves people all over the place. That is impressive. And they got a new airport for it because they needed to bring all the people there. Sports does more for communities than people ever want to give it credit for. And there was a time back in the day when Channel 5 thought sports wasn't important and they got rid of sports and they farmed it out to Metro Sports and did all that stuff. What a major mistake and a dumb move by Channel 5 to get rid of sports in a town like this that craves sports. You saw the ratings, World Baseball Classic ratings, pretty good in Kansas City, right? We love sports here in Kansas City. We love sports here in the United States. Quite honestly, we love sports in the world. And that's why I'm so excited for the World Cup, to see everybody kind of come together and just root for sports and not worry about all this other stuff that goes on in everyday life. There's nothing better than just sitting at a bar with people, watching a game. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't, but you're all rooting for the same thing, and everybody's cheering and everybody's hugging. Nothing else brings that joy to people and that togetherness to people than sports does. And so for 1,500 years, we had no Olympics because he didn't like, Zeus or whoever was the guy that everybody was celebrating with the Olympic Games. And we let that get in the way and took away something that could have been, even back then in 379, a great unifier for the world. I'm excited for the World Cup. I hope it's a great unifier for everybody. And everybody, especially here in Kansas City, we're going to get the opportunity to see. I hope Kansas City's ready for what's about to hit. But I'll be honest with you, man, sports does more for people, more for the goodwill and the good soul of people than anything else. There's nothing better than sports being that unifier that brings people together. And even 2,000 years ago or whatever it was, to get rid of that, very short-sighted by Theodosius I. So that's why, and Josh, you can correct me if I'm wrong because you were there and you covered those Olympics back in 379, but I think Theodosius I is my bonehead of the week for canceling something that was so good that brought everybody together, all for the common good of just watching great sports competition. Now, the events were different back in those days than they are now, but you get the point of the story is that let sports unite people. Don't take that away. Let sports be that great uniter because it is, and there's nothing better.
Your buddy Jayhawk for Life and a fan of the show has a couple of questions about the Coliseum.
Okay.
Number one, did the Coliseum have ample parking?
It did.
Okay. And then did they have cup holders in the seats?
They did not.
Okay.
Need an update.
I mean, the fact that these folks were in there for these ceremonies in 2004 in that stadium never would have flown in America because you can't even, you got to pull yourself up to get it. The steps are so damn high.
Wow.
And so it's you're looking at it, there's like one water fountain here. There may have been a bathroom there. Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Everybody just enjoyed themselves. But the cup holder stuff was unbelievable from years and years ago. I think what we're missing are cup holders at Kauffman Stadium. Okay, thanks. But it makes a big difference. You want that cup holder for your drink.
We have given away 3, if my math is correct, Mac Maury. 3.
Yep,
We have
2
given
more
away
to go.
3 Royals TV subscriptions to this year's season. We are going to give another one away in this commercial break. So, real simple. 913-586-7965. You want to be listening and be caller number 5 when you hear this drop by our guy, Josh Vernier.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
So caller number 5, Mac picks up the phone. You say, "What's up, Mac? Am I caller number 5?" And if he says yes, you have Royals access all year long with the TV subscription for free, $100 value. Be sure to be caller number 5. We've got 2 more to give away today. We'll give away 5 more tomorrow and then 5 more on Thursday. And when we come back, we're going to get more into this Darren Peterson saga that is or is not the number 1 pick in the NBA draft here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carter Jensen, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, here we go. The sun is out, the warm weather is approaching, and you want to get outside and do everything you love to do, whether it's golf, whether it's tennis. Maybe you're getting ready to do yard work, and you're thinking, I can't do any of that. I've got joint pain. My elbow, my knee, my back, it's all barking on me right now, and I just don't know what to do. Well, if you have that joint pain, then you need to see my friends over at QC Kinetics, because you can jump back into life full speed, and it doesn't have to happen in an operating room. The QC Kinetics medical professionals use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science, treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body, concentrate them right where you need relief the most. That's how you're going to get back in the game. And the sooner you start treatment, the sooner inflammation eases and the sooner joint damage slows down, because you're not going to do it with surgery. You're not going to do it with meds, and you're not going to do it with downtime. You're going to do it with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Find out if you're a candidate and get your free consultation. 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. Turn to Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. With temperatures rising, now's the time to make sure your AC is ready to keep you cool. Whether it's your home or your business, Comfort Systems services both residential and commercial systems across the Kansas City area. Call today for a fast tune-up, repair, or a system upgrade so you can stay cool all summer long. Family owned and operated since 1990, comforting people is what we do. Comfort Systems is right for you. MyComfortSystems.com.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. March 26th, T-Mobile Center. The lights go down one final time. Tickets are on sale now at JourneyMusic.com. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
Ever notice how your floors still look dirty, even after you mop?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Swiffer Power Mop gives you a deeper clean you can actually see.
I'm listening.
Unlike string mops, Swiffer Power Mop absorbs more dirt and locks it away, even in those hard-to-reach spots.
Like behind the toilet?
Exactly. The new micro scrubbers deliver thousands of tiny deep cleaning actions, so your floors look, smell, and feel clean.
Bye-bye, dirty floors. Hello, Swiffer Power Mop.
Try the Swiffer Power Mop. Love it or your money back.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Score up to a $50 bonus bet daily during college hoops with BetMGM's free-to-play fast break game. Log into BetMGM, play as the point guard, and choose to pass or go for a dunk. If you score, you'll win either a $50 bonus bet or boost token. The ball is always in your court with BetMGM, where you can take advantage of special offers and earn rewards points on every bet. Make a fast break during college hoops by playing as the point guard for your daily shot at a $50 bonus bet or boost token. All rewards expire in 24 hours, and BetMGM.com is where you can find full prize details and terms. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Nevada, Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements, additional terms and restrictions may apply in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Come on. No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up.
I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid to know.
Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and from changing seasons to unpredictable road conditions, having solid auto insurance gives you real peace of mind. With AAA, switching today means you could save up to 21% on your auto insurance. AAA offers dependable protection, personalized coverage options, and customer service that's always there for you. And when you bundle policies or insure multiple vehicles, you can save even more. Visit AAA.com. That's AAA.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
North KC, 29 southbound, heavy before Armour, stays that way to the bridge. Accident around Front Street built those delays. Kansas side, 435 southbound, heavy from Woodend down to Shawnee Mission Parkway with construction. 635 northbound, heavy at K5, stays that way to the bridge. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back at it on a Tuesday here on 96.5 The Fan. Don't forget, Wednesday night, baseball is back. Opening night live on Netflix tomorrow, March 25th. Aaron Judge, Rafael Devers, Yankees, Giants, opening night on Netflix. It'll be 7 p.m. Central and 4 p.m. Pacific time. Baseball's back, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball is happening. I am excited. It's pretty cool to see those, what do they call those, liners? This is Jack Caglione, and you're listening to Dusty Likens, Bob Fescoe.
It's good to hear them, yeah. You know the seasons are changing, right?
So far, we've had Estevez, Cags, and Carter Jensen.
Did I hear somebody else on there, too? I swear I heard somebody else. Maybe I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I know I heard Estevez.
Yeah, and I know I heard Cags, and I know I heard Carter.
Yep.
There was somebody else I swear I heard. Oh, Vinny. We heard Vinny.
Yep, Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny was
Probably
on there.
Bobby.
Yep. Have I heard Bobby yet? I don't know if I've heard Bobby yet.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
You'd know. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. This is Bobby Wood Jr., your home for the Kansas City Royals. He's a silent assassin, is what he is. That's what we call that. That arm was like a sniper in the World Baseball Classic, as the Royals will start their journey on Friday night in Hotlanta. By the way, Emily said she's going to go to Magic City and get you some wings, Mac.
Yes. Come on.
She said they know her by first name when she goes. So, gonna get those lemon pepper
I'm
wings
sure
back.
they
Whether they're
do.
good or not, I don't know, but you'll be able to try them.
Oh, you
so.
know they're gas.
Shout out EP.
Shout out.
So Friday night we're gonna be at Maloney's. Gonna be hanging out there, watch the Royals game. All of us will be there from the station, so come out, hang out.
Yes.
Even the Missouri fan Alex Gold will be there?
Uh-huh.
That's correct.
I'm going to call him Missouri Gold.
Oh no,
Because that's what it is. Missouri Gold out there, man.
well, we don't want you guys to split the golden standard. We got to have the heel group and the face group. We call Cody Eric Bischoff. He could go either side and just play both sides. I mean, manipulate them both. The perfect role for him. And then Binkley is considered mankind. I can show you my socko here, Dustman.
Is Binkley going to be there Friday?
I hope so.
I hope so.
No late night show Friday night because you'll hear Vern on the airwaves with the first pregame show of the season, followed into the Royals broadcasting team here on 96.5 The Fan. You can hear all the action on 96.5 The Fan. We got one more giveaway for you guys today. We have 5 tomorrow and 5 Thursday. So if you don't win today, it's a trial for everybody. You kind of get another chance tomorrow. You get another chance on Thursday as well. We do have some interesting questions for you because you just got back from Greece. And people were asking questions about the Coliseum.
Yeah, the Olympic Stadium. Coliseum Rome, Olympic Stadium.
Sorry,
if
Olympic
I said
Stadium.
Coliseum, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
I don't know if I did or not, but the Olympic Stadium.
So the Olympic Stadium, somebody wants to know, was Park and Go at the Coliseum?
They were, yeah.
At the
Took Park and
stadium.
Go yesterday. Fantastic. Landed home in an hour. They're the best. I mean, if you're not using Park and Go at KCI, you're doing it wrong. You just are. These guys are phenomenal.
Another question on the text line says, did Mayor L cause the Coliseum, or I guess the stadium, to move country lines?
He was like Theodosius I guess. The Chiefs are now in Kansas. And
Theodosius L? Because L's a...
Yeah, that is true. Theodosius L. Yeah, Mayor Theodosius.
There we go.
Boy, Bobby Bulldog is back, isn't he?
But is Mayor Theodosius, though, they didn't take over a public park and built the Olympic Stadium like Mayor Theodosius wants to do, right? They just built it there. Plenty of chariot parking, too.
So there's a lot of talk now because we asked what the tournament can do for Darren Peterson. And I believe he had 28 and 21 in the 2 games they played. He was their best player. It wasn't even close. obviously things got murky at the end of the first round game against Carolina Baptist.
California
Baptist.
Yeah. My buddy bet $10 on them to win outright. Would have cashed $10,000.
Boy, he got close because it got
Really
real
close. Got scary.
interesting towards that second half when all of a sudden we saw White not looking at Darren Peterson's way and then be like, "Nah, man, not
They
you."
offered him $11 payout at one point.
That's awesome.
You ride that till the end and then share your receipt.
Yeah.
Which that's another thing Alexander Gold did. As soon as he won the high point, he showed his parlay that he hit that high point.
I mean, he is a Missouri Gold fan like it's nobody's business.
And so now I think I don't think you will hear this conversation much more, or at least at the placement that we've heard it. I know it was like one of the main topics on the herd. It was one of the main topics on First Take, First Things First. All those shows, Darren Peterson, is he giving you enough? Did he change the narrative? Do you trust what it has? Well, this is his high school coach, Sam Mitchell, on Darren Peterson.
Right. A lot of the accusations throughout the college regular season were that, like, he's load managing. He has an unethical mentality towards playing.
No, Rob, I know this kid. I know his parents. I know his little brother. I know his sister. I know his grandfather. I know his friends. I know the community he grew up with. I used to fly. I didn't just meet them at games. I flew to Ohio for practices, for the weekends, for 2 years. I'm telling you, this kid he's an unbelievable kid. Parents, mother's a midwife, dad a businessman, played at Akron, college graduate. His little brother's going to be as good one day. His little brother's a beast, right? Close-knit family, good family. Robin, I coached him hard. I coached that AAU team like I coached my NBA team. And I stayed on him because by him being the best player, I put it on his shoulders to not just for us to play well, but for him to play well enough and get his teammates involved to get them scholarship offers. And I would tell him if I didn't feel like he was doing it. And guess what his mother would do when I would light him up after a game or at halftime? She'll walk by me when nobody was looking and give me a high five or low five. Because she understood everybody around him was kissing his butt. And he needed balance, that he's a kid. His dad understood that. His dad was my assistant coach. Never said a word to me how I coached him. Not one word.
That's Coach Sam Mitchell, former NBA Coach of the Year, talking about Darren Peterson and the way he coached him. He goes on to say he'd have first halves where he'd score 30. He'd say, hey, you're not going to shoot once the second half. I need you to learn how to pass and run this offense. 12 assists in the second half. Goes on telling all these stories. The more we find out about Darren Peterson and who he is, the more we find out about his mental and physical health struggles throughout this last season, the more I look at his high school tape and really see that hamstring was an issue this year. There is no question in my mind. Darren Peterson is the truth, both on the floor and off the floor. The more I find out about this guy as a kid and as a growing young man, I think any team would be lucky to have him. I think he's a superstar.
And that's a great point, but I'm going to take the Kansas perspective. We got nothing out of that guy. None of what that guy said there translated at the University of Kansas. And maybe it was injury. Maybe it was all that kind of stuff. There's nothing gained by having that guy at the University of Kansas. Now, maybe he goes on to the NBA and does some great stuff. But, I mean, all this defending of this kid is like, that's eye-opening to me. Like, everybody's coming out to try to defend Darren Peterson. I know from what I saw, and I don't care what he did in high school. I don't care what he's going to do in the NBA. As a Kansas graduate, as a Kansas fan, and I know from talking to all of my friends that were Kansas fans, we got nothing out of that. We got nothing out of the Darren Peterson experience here at Kansas. He may go on and be a great NBA player. A lot of guys go on and do great things in professional sports when they weren't anything in college. Or the kid from, Shawnee Mission Northwest. Nobody really recruited that kid. Now he's a superstar in the NCAA tournament playing for a Sweet 16 team. Guys peak at different times and do things differently throughout their career. Maybe Darren Peterson peaked in high school. I don't know that to be the case, and I'm not saying that is the case. We'll never know that until his career is complete, where he was ultimately number one. But from a Kansas perspective, for the year that I saw with Darren Peterson, he caused more heartache than brought joy.
I will take the opposite side of that and say that Kansas fans would have been absolutely irate if he didn't give them what he did give them. And that is, so many times in sports we say, when a guy gets put on an injury report or he doesn't play because he's got an injury, and it's like, oh, come on, man, play through that. You saw this guy play through it. He played through injury. And you saw towards the end of the tournament that, he was kind of losing some steam. Now, that can be a concern that maybe injuries will add up in his career or cause him to kind of,
and that does
doubt
suck.
It might cause him to doubt stuff later on. We've seen how injuries can do that to athletes. We saw Derrick Rose never come back after he was injured maybe just once, and then it was just a trickle-down effect. But I think that he gave Kansas way more than Kansas truther fans think that he gave them. Because, the game against Arizona, when he didn't play on Big Monday because he had the flu, sure, you can have that opinion because you can be the point guard couch guy that's like, well, I would have played. It's like, okay, well, that's fine. You would have played. That's great.
I think it was the way Bill handled it also after. I thought he was going to play.
And it's the way you take what Bill said. He goes, I thought that the crowd and the momentum would get him there, but it apparently wasn't enough. Okay, take it how you want. You can say that, I take Bill's side and looking at it as a perspective of I thought, everybody else has done this. Look, man, it's Big Monday. Or you look at it as man, he was so sick that even all of this didn't even get him off the bench. And I don't know what the severity of his injuries was. I still go back to the communication process of all of this. I also go back to Mac's point where he is an 18, 19-year-old kid that is growing into a man's body. We don't know what that's like. You were 47 years old and you pulled your leg doing a lunge.
Yeah.
That's your body changing on you the later you get in life. And I think that when you look at what he gave them, what is the ultimate goal? Did you need Darren Peterson to give you a national title? Because if that's the case, what did Paul Pierce give you? What did Jacques Vaughn give you? What did, all those greats give you? If that's the standard to give you a title, then he gave you, there's a lot of people that give you nothing, but he still did play through it. And once the notoriety of him being what they called a quitter was out there or not a team player, he didn't miss games after that. He missed those 11 games in and out, but didn't miss all of the game. Missed halves, missed this. We have the play against Iowa State where he's like, hey, Bill, I think we're good. And we had our own perspective on it because there was no real control of the situation from the KU perspective, from the national perspective, from anybody's. And to be fair, what does Darren Peterson owe Kansas?
Well, I don't think he owes Kansas anything, and Kansas doesn't owe him anything either. I think you hit the nail on the head, though, Dusty, with the way that it was handled. And when we see things handled in sports the way that the Darren Peterson thing was handled, where everybody creates their own narrative and runs with it, and nobody ever addresses it, that's where sports is arrogant. And that's where I will say to Andy Reid, to Matt Quattrero, to Bill Self, to Alex's coaches at the University of Missouri, don't try to hide things. Don't try to pretend that the sports fan is a moron and doesn't know what's going on. Because the more you try to cover it up, the worse it becomes. And we see that happen in sports all the time.
And
with
you know
this
what you're
stuff.
describing? You know exactly what you're describing? The Josh Simmons situation.
Yeah.
How many people's opinion changed of his because we didn't know? And you can blame Chiefs communication. You can blame Josh Simmons' situation. But, dude, we got to a point where the stories, we were asked at a wedding from a stranger.
Guy in Greece asked me. No, I'm kidding.
That we didn't know the answers to. And, depending on how you look at the situation or who you read or what tabloid you go with, you don't know. And I think that is the root of the problem, was the way that it was handled from a communications perspective, because communication is key in everything in life. If somebody likes you by a facial look, if you're like, oh, that person definitely doesn't like me. You knew that because the communication was there.
Mm-hmm.
Or if somebody comes up to you and just says, if somebody's, just doesn't talk to you and you're like, why is that person? They just don't like you. And then all of a sudden they talk to you and they're like, I kind of like some of the things they had to say. I just didn't ever give it a chance. And I think what Darren Peterson's situation is, we, A, have never seen anything like this in the sport. So, B, we were dumb to the situation, know what was going to be the next step. And I think the third part about it is that the guy played through injury. And I know so many times in life that I've seen in sports where people are like, hey, just go out there and give me something. And he did. He didn't give you what you thought you were going to get with the number one recruit and all this sort of stuff.
He gave you over 20 points.
But he did a lot more than just what maybe, and I think that's what it is I think that when you look at, unfortunately, because that's what the University of Kansas is a staple of college basketball, you should be in the second weekend. You should get to the Sweet 16, and they didn't. And do you want to blame Bill Self? Not a lot of people do. What do people do? Blame the thing that's been there the whole time. The Darren Peterson situation, that's the problem.
Isn't that crazy, though? In college sports, we're not going to blame the coach, but in professional sports, we will blame Andy Reid before we even consider saying something about Patrick Mahomes. God forbid you say something about 15. It's Andy's fault, right?
I blamed the coach while you were gone. I blamed Bill Self, and I'll blame the other players. And Darren Peterson wasn't maybe his best in a couple of those games, but he was his best in the tournament. He did everything he could. I don't know where Melvin Council was. He's hero of the year. Trey White waving off Darren Peterson. Bryson Tiller, my guy throughout the season, showed he was a freshman. Everyone else was a no-show. Darren Peterson was the one guy who showed up playing through injury. And the reason the high school tape matters, Bob, is because you will see the juxtaposition of an athlete. You will see, oh, that's not the same guy. This is a guy playing through injury against better competition and still averaging over 20 points a game. Meanwhile, he's got a team doing, F all around him.
Let me ask you guys this. What's the harm? Now, and I know what my answer is because because sports is so damn competitive. But you're Bill Self and you're the University of Kansas. You are the premier program in the sport, right? You're Andy Reid and you're the Kansas City Chiefs. You're the premier program in the sport. Why not come out and say, hey, and I know a competitive disadvantage. I don't want to hear that as the answer, though, because what you did by not saying from the beginning that maybe he was dealing with an injury is you left everybody to speculate. You left everybody to create their own narrative. You left the nationals to create their own narrative. You let the locals to create their own narrative. You let the fans create their own narrative. And nobody ever reeled it in. And by the time they started to try to reel it in, everybody already had their mind made up. Everybody already had their narrative created. Why not just be honest with people and say, look, we've got this kid. He's got a sore hamstring. We're working through this. If Bill and the university or Peterson and his people or whoever it was started that in October or November and laid that out there for everybody that he's not 100% healthy, it's going to be an interesting year, people are genuinely compassionate and would have had a completely different perspective and different understanding. I think the Darren Peterson thing is the way that it is because everybody messed up with the communication. And communication is key in everything. We talk about it all the time. People send a text message. You don't know what that means. You don't know what the tone is. You don't know how somebody's trying to communicate with you. And sports, especially at the highest levels, you're at that highest level because, well, you're arrogant. And that's not a bad thing in sports. But when it comes to communicating with your fans and with the public and all of that kind of stuff, you can't be arrogant. And being honest and coming out and saying, hey, man, Darren Peterson is dealing with this injury back in November, it would have been a completely different season, I think, for Darren Peterson. Yeah, fans would have been wondering if he's ever going to play and all that kind of stuff, but there would have been that compassionate side to go, man, maybe that guy's injury is worse than we thought, or maybe you're battling through this stuff. And they never did that. They just didn't. They let the narrative just go out there and become created the way that it was, and then nobody even really stopped that narrative. And as much as I love Bill, he didn't help it with the Arizona game.
No, he didn't handle this well at all. Bill is at fault here. There is no question. Bill Self and the whole KU program is at fault.
But so are Peterson and his people because they could have counteracted
Peterson was
it too.
Hurt. And by the way, it did come out in November. He missed 6 games for a hamstring strain.
Right.
He missed 6 games to start the year because of his hamstring. It was out there. We knew this.
But it didn't feel like we did.
All of us, me included, ignored it and came up with other hypotheses as to why, some of which positive, some of which negative, against an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid. The information was out there. Yes, they could have been more persistent about communicating with it, but you're talking about back there in November, that was the start of it, man. It was there.
Mm-hmm.
We chose to run with it our way.
And nobody ever stopped us. And it got out of control. And here we sit. This is what happens, man. This is why I look at these teams and I know they're lying, and I'm like, why are you doing this? This isn't smart. Like, when there's a crisis, do you see the way professional teams handle crisis? Terrible! It's like a baby. They don't know how to handle crisis. They don't know how to handle things. Oh, we'll just make something up and hide. You know, they don't handle it the right way. They're so arrogant that they think it's just going to go away because they're a professional team or a high-level coach or a high-level this or a high-level that, and we're all just underlings. And we're just going to, okay, well, they said it, so it must be. But that's not the way the world works anymore.
Mm-hmm. And Seth Greenberg was mad that he wasn't slapping ass.
That's true.
True. He doesn't see Darren Peterson slapping his teammates' ass, so he just doesn't think he has the heart. Someone else who's not afraid to fire shots is Gilbert Arenas, and he had this on Darren Peterson.
Not a top 5 pick. He's 1 or 2. Top 5, I don't even know why you even talking about top 5. Like the guy who played 1 half, averaged 20 points a game. 20 points a game for a half. That's how good he is. So to question, is he top 5 because cramps in college? I'm pretty sure the NBA can solve the cramp problem. You know, there's some bodies out here that they produce or waste more liquids than other. You know, Paolo Banchero, when he got to the NBA, he was cramping a lot because they play really hard. So his 20 minutes of college basketball is so intense that he wasted all of his liquids in salt.
So there's the other thing too is that the NBA that we know of is basically a draft on potential league.
Yeah, of course it is. Who are you
Right?
taking over Darren Peterson, though?
DeBans is now the favorite.
Okay, one or two, those two guys, that's it.
And then now you have the conversation of Acuff, who's the point guard of the tournament, who could be a number 1, number 2 pick. And then people are flaunting the name Cameron Boozer, which Mac has said to stay away from, unless because he's just not going to equal what he is in college.
Because he's just a weird player,
I would
right?
say stay away. I mean, he's not going to be a bust, but yeah, he's got the lowest floor or the lowest ceiling by far.
Because of his size and everything, it just doesn't match up with what the NBA does.
Yeah, 6'5", 250, and in college, that's a true center.
Yeah.
Like
what is that in the NBA?
Yeah, no one knows. Yeah, it's some weird kind of
create a position for him. And good coaches will figure it out.
And I mean, that's why, Gilbert Arenas says they're like, he was averaging 20 points and a half. Like, the potential is obviously there, and the NBA can have more advancements in, science and health and all that stuff because they have the capability of doing so.
But I think the conversations are completely different, too. Like, I think if you don't take Darren Peterson 1 or 2 in the NBA, then you're stupid. That's where I think. But it doesn't mean that what happened at Kansas is something that I enjoyed or what happened at his high school career. Like, I think you can have separate That's why this thing is so compelling and why everybody's involved in it, because there's so many different layers of that conversation. Does Darren Peterson not playing, or however you want to interpret, not slapping ass, as whatever that means, that has nothing to do with his potential in the NBA and what he can do in the NBA at all. I mean, Greg Oden was the number 1 pick, and everybody knew his knees were going to give out in 10 minutes. But you still drafted him because of that potential, the ability to maybe fix those knees or whatever it may be. No, I think Darren Peterson still should be a 1 or 2 pick in the draft, but it doesn't mean as a Kansas fan I can sit here and go, boy, I enjoyed the Darren Peterson experience, because I didn't. I don't remember any player having this much controversy at the University of Kansas ever.
I'd say Joel Embiid.
It felt different back then, though, man. It wasn't the NIL. Like, I think the NIL adds to it. Like, when you're getting those dollars now, you're open to that kind of controversy. If this wasn't the NIL era, we probably all would have handled it differently and said, this is a kid, it's a college athlete. When you're making $6 million or whatever he was making a year for the 1 year, sorry, man. Like, you're held to a different standard than if it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, everybody's feeling sorry for him. Now you're making all this money. Now you're ruining our salary cap. Now, I mean, those things do factor in. Maybe you could have had two okay players for the price of one Darren Peterson and would have been a better overall team. And that was the other thing. How are we coaching this team? Bill essentially coached 2 teams this year. It was like, that's where that all factors in. Does that factor into the NBA? No, that has nothing to do with his potential in the NBA. But for the 7 months that he was at Kansas and got whatever millions of dollars, maybe we could have spent that money better. If we're going to criticize Brett Veach for not going out and spending the money right, or J.J. Piccolo for not going out and spending the money right, you got to criticize Bill Self for not spending the money right, too.
Did you consider Brett for Miller?
Did Will Chamberlain or Danny Manning, have they reached out to Wiggins?
You think I'm a damn fool? And also just wanted to double check that Dan Kilgore is going to practice today. I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit. Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
From the 620 LOL, KU is literally the king of sports medicine. Coming up on the other side, we'll get into why the Royals season should be starting off with a bang here this season in Kansas City. 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Alex, you're a Missouri Tiger.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, low testosterone is a real issue for many men, and it can lead to poor sleep, low energy, brain fog, reduced sex drive, and it can make it difficult to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body plays a major role in overall health and well-being. But more than this, Heartland Men's Health can help men lose weight, support metabolism, improve gains in the gym, and more with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more. And with low-T treatments combined with the body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. You're going to have more energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. And if you're ready to get started, you need to call my friends over at Heartland Men's Health. Don't ignore the signs. Call them today and take the first step towards feeling better again. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
You're always better with a roof from JR.
Here they come. A baseball-sized hailstorm means every roofer for 500 miles is on his way here to ring your doorbell. Before that happens, go online to jrstormcheck.com and relax. JR & Company is locally owned, veteran-owned, and family-owned. JR & Company offers a lifetime warranty on workmanship. But best of all, JR & Company offers a free Class 4 shingle upgrade. What does that mean? Most insurance companies offer premium discounts on Class 4 shingles. Remember, no roofer can legally offer to pay your deductible, but a free shingle upgrade can reduce premiums for years to come. Why do we do this? Because we can. A lifetime workmanship warranty and free shingle upgrade. It's why we say,
You're always better with a roof from JR.
just visit jrstormcheck.com.
Well, here we go, folks. We are at a busy time of year, and I know everybody's looking outside and thinking about those beautiful days that are ahead, and you're thinking about, oh my, watch parties. We're thinking about maybe a wedding. Maybe you've got a graduation party, but you're also thinking, I don't want to do any of that cooking. Well, Hy-Vee is here to help. They can help with trays to full-service catering. Hy-Vee has grab-and-go options for last-minute get-togethers, or they can do all of the cooking for you. They can set it all up, and how about this? Even take care of that horrible cleanup. Hy-Vee has such a wide range of menu options to suit your budget, from ready-to-heat and serve meals to full-service catering. Any size group or occasion, weddings, graduation, corporate lunches, watch parties, and more. Only at Hy-Vee.
This baseball season, FanDuel is letting you choose your own reward for opening week. Betting customizations that transform how you experience the game. Make your choice, and the reward will be ready to use on your next MLB bet. FanDuel is the home of home runs. Now that you can choose your own reward for opening week, baseball just got a lot more exciting. Maybe you want to spotlight Vinny Pasquantino and you think he has a chance to hit a home run on opening day or lead the league in RBI. You can head over to FanDuel. So if you're ready, head over there to play your game. FanDuel.com/local to choose your reward for MLB's opening week. FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on anything. March matchups are here. Trade the tournament in all 50 states on Kalshi. Duke is trading at 19% to win it all. A $100 trade pays out $498 if they win. Arizona and Michigan are trading at 22%. Download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Grandview Triangle 470 westbound heavy. 435 westbound stays heavy to Warnell with an accident. 435 northbound pretty heavy approaching 87th with an accident, keeping things heavy from Bannister. Kansas side 435 southbound heavy around Shawnee Mission Parkway with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Check it out on the live stream, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. You can check out us all out. Bob, Mac, and I all back in studio as we roll on a Tuesday. Looks like a beautiful day. Can't wait to hit the links at 1 o'clock.
It's going to be a nice day out there for you today, huh?
Yes, sir.
How's the wind?
Seems pretty calm, like 11 miles per hour.
That's not bad
about that.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. It could be still winds. I'll still shoot 95 today at Stone Canyon because their greens are one of the toughest things I've ever putted on. So trying to bring
make
100
you stronger.
today.
It'll make you stronger, Dusty. I promise you that. It'll make you a stronger golfer.
Yeah, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
That's what they say.
Is that
yeah.
Kelly Clarkson?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
The Chiefs had a big signing today.
Oh, great.
Jack Cochran to a one-year deal.
No! I'd rather have Juwan Taylor. Who did you know had a penalty first? When the Chiefs were on offense or when the Chiefs were on special teams?
It's true.
I bet it's that Cochran guy.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
sure was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now they're
yeah.
getting the ball on the 45 instead of the 25. Thanks, Jack. Offense play gets stalled. Guaranteed it's 74. This is kind of a cool story I just saw on the internet. In China, 7 dogs were stolen from their owners. It has gone viral after escaping from an illegal transport truck and making their way home. They traveled 10.5 miles or 17 kilometers together. They were led by a corgi across highways and fields. They are now all safely back with their respected owners. It is real life homeward bound.
Seriously.
That's awesome. Dogs know, though,
They'll get
man.
back.
They know.
And they had a leader in the pack, and it was a corgi.
Corgi's like, I
mean,
got
you
it.
got a golden retriever. You got a. There's video of it everywhere. It's on Twitter as Nature is Amazing or at Amazing Nature. But yeah, China dogs were stolen by a car. God knows what they're going to do with them. And then they finally broke out. And then this corgi was like, "All right, boys and girls, follow me, and we'll get home." And they all are home back in
That's
their safe
so
places.
cool, man. The dogs are smart, though. We got home. I mean, Winnie was so excited to see everybody. She hasn't really spoken to me yet since I got home, but she goes on hunger strikes when we're not there. And then poops. I mean, like,
welcome home, Dad.
Yeah, like it's crazy. The dogs know. They're smart, man. They are very, very smart. They know what they're doing.
Someone from the text line from the 479 has a great sense of humor. Can I get a request to have Dusty and Mac do a Binkley segment where both is Binkley arguing about draft picks?
Yes, please do. Please do.
That's awesome.
I would love that.
That's great.
Man. That's great.
Start. Go. One of you start, please.
Yeah, you know, I really think they might take a tackle because I don't know about Jalen Moore. If you look at Jalen Moore's numbers, Mac Binkley, you can tell he's jumping offside. Horrible against the run. They got Ken Walker, running back.
It doesn't really matter, does Binkley? Because as long as you get Patrick Mahomes in space, you're going to win a football game.
It's a guy who does a fake 999 challenge. It's a fake challenge. But speaking of,
I still want to challenge him to that 9-9. I want Binkley to do a real 9-9 challenge.
Well, talk to him tomorrow. He'll be on the show at 6:45.
Yes.
And I'm sure he will be thrilled to say, "Hey, Bob, I'll do the challenge. I'll do the actual one."
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he'll pass.
These damn millennials are ruining the 999 challenge. Because back in my day, we'd do an IPA, we'd do Polish sausage, and we'd do it in 6 innings. You have to believe that the World Baseball Classic didn't only change the perspective of what fans want this season, but maybe what baseball is seeing from this team, because the Royals went from a 34% chance to make the postseason to a 46% chance at BetAG.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? When the preseason started, the spring training started, the Royals had a 34% chance to make the postseason. World Baseball Classic, let's boost that up to 40. That's a huge jump.
Big boost.
In a couple of weeks. I mean, look, the Royals put on the best show they possibly could have. There was no better marketing campaign for the Royals than what the World Baseball Classic was, right? Am I wrong saying that? Does anybody disagree with that? Because every time you turned around, somebody from the Royals was doing something spectacular, whether it was 3 home runs in a game, an MVP, the captain, it didn't matter. That was an unbelievable marketing opportunity and situation that the Royals had, and people took notice of it. And I think right now, as a Royals fan, your expectation is playoffs, nothing short of the postseason for the Royals. And if they don't make it, we'll fire the hitting coach.
Yeah. And they brought him in some support this offseason as well. So the other concern that we had is Vern had talked to us about the Carlos Estevez velocity thing and what he told us yesterday and what Annie Rogers of MLB.com has been writing about and what Jalen Thompson wrote about yesterday for the Star. Carlos Estevez has sat between 88 and 90 miles per hour again with his velocity on Monday against the Texas Rangers. He recorded 3 strikeouts while registering a walk and a hit by pitch. Max four-seam velocity was at 91 miles per hour. You're back to being okay with it, or is it still your number one level of concern going into the season?
Look, my number one level of concern is Carlos Estevez. I need to see it in a regular season game.
Because they've got his Venezuelan teammate in the minors right now in Avila that could be a solid closer, hopefully potential starter, fireball thrower.
But he's 17?
No. This is the guy that played for Team Venezuela. I don't know how old he is.
Okay. That's Kendry Churio.
Okay, I know they have a 17-year-old down there that's ready to go today.
Boy, and now Churio's getting looked at from MLB Baseball Americas, could be one of the highest pitching prospects in the near future.
Yeah,
Very
no doubt.
near future.
When they signed him, I heard from some other folks on other teams, damn, that's a huge signing. That's a great move by the Royals. And when you hear other teams say that, that's when you know it's good. It's we can say that, but when somebody else outside the organization tells us it's good, you're like, okay, you take notice of something like that. So that was a great signing by them. But, you always have concerns about the closer because I don't think there's anything more devastating in sports than having a lead for the entire game and then not being able to get those final 3 outs. It sucks. It's demoralizing. It's defeating. It hurts, right? And so you've got to have that closer situation, figured out. I'd still like to see another outfield bat, if they could add one. And then what are we doing at second base at this point in time? Because I asked you guys a few weeks ago, I said, I think this Massey train is done. I don't feel good about him going into the season. We never really got to that. And then Dusty said to me this morning, he goes, I don't know about this Massey, what we're going to have, at second base. I'm concerned about the second base position, unless Jonathan India is going to, take over that position and, be a pretty good player, which I still have hope for because I am a Jonathan India apologist, like a Jawan Taylor one. But I don't know about second base right now. I think that's kind of a question mark for the Royals. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Massey's severely in the hole right now because we heard all offseason he was training differently. He's, he was on with Cody and Gold when he was their NFL insider one day when Vinny couldn't do it. And changed, maybe some kinks in his swing, try to do something. It just is unfortunate that it's another injury to Michael Massey. I think Jonathan India is your opening day second baseman. I think you kind of know where they will be positioned on Friday night against Chris Sale. Could be Lane Thomas, could be Isaac Collins left field, could be Kyle Isbell in center field, could be Lane Thomas. Everything else is pretty much set in stone. Jack's going to be in right. First base is Vinny. Second base is probably India, I would think. Shortstop and third base, you obviously know, is Bobby and Garcia. Salvi will catch, Jensen DH, and then go let Cole Reagans do his business.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, every team's got holes, though, guys. I mean, my dad told me yesterday. Well, that's different.
I don't know if they actually. I don't think they have a hole.
I don't think they do.
And
either.
Shohei's going to pitch this year.
Yeah,
with Yamamoto, Sasaki, and Snell and Glass.
When do they get bored? June or
April 1st?
But no, Ben sent me a text today about the Dodgers. You say they have no holes. They said it now costs a family of 4 to go to a Dodger game with the cheapest tickets and 1 hot dog and parking, $413. That's why the Dodgers don't have any holes out there, is because a family of 4 has to go and spend $413 to go to the game on the cheapest tickets. So they're printing money out there. They've got the money to spend. That's why baseball's got this crisis that it's in right now because of the class system that we have set up. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But my dad was even telling me yesterday, he goes, I turn on the Yankee spring training games. I don't know any of these people. Because then I realized I was watching a split squad game. But I'm like, every team has a hole in their lineup. 7, 8, and 9 for most teams other than, as Dusty said, the Dodgers. who has a great 7, 8, 9 in baseball? And that's why I always am like, I'm against expansion, because no team has a 7, 8, and 9. No team has really a 4 and a 5 that they can rely on. Maybe the Royals do this year and some other teams, but not everyone. And we're going to talk about expanding the game and adding, 52, 54 more people to a roster when we can't even get a 7, 8, 9 on the teams we already have in Major League Baseball. That's just going to continue to water down the talent right now. So I think expansion needs to be shelved. And we need to find a way to make these teams stronger right now. But I think if you go into the season and you're concerned about your 7, 8, 9, everybody other than the Dodgers is concerned about that same thing.
We've got listeners locked in. We got Michael Hall. He sent us a picture of a Casey's that just opened in the Gulf Coast that says, "Hello, breakfast pizza." And then a question for you about Greece. It says, "Hey, Bob, did they get rid of Buck Night as well at the stadium?"
They did. Yeah, the Olympic Stadium did not have Buck Night. It was terrible.
Hate to see it. Hey, coming up next, we're going to give you another chance in the next break. Not the one coming up, but the next break, to give you one last chance today at a free Royals subscription for the entire season. So we'll do that as well. Plus, we'll get back into it. It's Tuesday. It's Start Bench Cut here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Matt Quatrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, it is getting to that time of year where you're going to be opening up the house and letting in all of that fresh air because it's springtime and summer's here. And if you're saying to yourself, "Oh, my windows don't work, I can't open them and enjoy the fresh air outside, what am I going to do?" Well, you're going to call Window World, the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs and the official window of the Fescoes. Every window at our house is a Window World window. In fact, I was talking to somebody when we were on our trip, and she was telling me she's replacing 40 windows in her house. Doesn't live in Kansas City. I gave her the Window World phone number anyway. I said, call Window World. They'll help you out. And they're one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval and ranked #1 of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. And in 20 years in business, they have improved the look and thermal efficiency of over 80,000 customers right here in the area. Plus, they have a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. And if you're like me and you got that dog and they've run through the screen door a couple of times, you know Window World is just a phone call away. They come right out and they fix that every single time. You're mowing the lawn, a rock goes through the window, call Window World. They'll come out and they'll replace that as well. So get in touch with them now at 1-800-GET-WINDOWS and get that free in-home estimate by giving them a call at 1-800-GET-WINDOWS or just visit them at windowskansascity.com. That's 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. It's Window World.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
I'm Piera Palazzolo,
VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Brought to you by Gravely Commercial Mowers. Gravely Mow the Difference sales have been on now through March 29th. Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely Commercial Mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event going on now through the 29th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
435 westbound at Warnell with an accident. Center lane's blocked. Delays into the Grandview Triangle downtown. 35 southbound heavy from I-70 to 670 with an accident. 670 westbound heavy back onto I-70 from the Paseo. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Join 96.5 at Maloney Sports Bar and Grill in Overland Park for a Royals and Braves watch party. Friday, March 27th with first pitch just after 6. Right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. In Odyssey Sports Station. Here's Fescoe, Dusty, and Mac with this week's edition of Start, Bench, Cut.
That's right, Start Bench Cuts on a Tuesday. Brought to you by Jay's Southland Tow. Get in the know with Jay's Southland Tow. Coming up in 10 minutes, you're going to want to listen for the Vern Drop, and you got a chance, the last chance today, to get your free Royals subscription here on 96.5 The Fan. If you don't get one today, don't worry. We'll be back Wednesday and Friday with 5 more each. So we've got 11 more, 1 more today for you to win. So Start Bench Cut, fellas. Let's do it. We talked yesterday about how the skipper, Skip Schumacher, went to the mound and let that pitcher know that he has made the roster. Pretty cool. We've seen certain ways they've done this, so I asked you to start bench cut the ways that you have seen this. The way that Hall of Fame football players are presented with the knock on the door, the way the manager went to the mound last night, or when AAA managers do it to the player like Jersley did with Cag, saying, you think you can help the team? Yeah, good. Well, get your ass up and get on the flight. They play tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's always cool to see that when they do these certain ways to give people the announcement.
Yeah, I'm going to start the MLB on the mound because that was unique. That was different. That was something I'd never seen before. And doing it in that moment, that was awesome. I'm going to bench the AAA coach, and then I'll cut the Hall of Fame finding out. I just love the baseball side of things because, yeah, the Hall of Fame is changing your life, but that sums up your career. This is letting you know your career is now beginning.
Yeah, I'll start the AAA because I just think those guys are in the mud. Those guys are grinding. It's so cool to see them get that final
Was that like
chance.
when we told you got the job and we moved you up from Nashville?
Legitimately,
Yeah.
That's why I compare it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Then I would bench Hall of Fame football finds out because I love those videos. I don't know his name. I don't believe he may have passed away. The former guy who used to do the announcements and go to those pros.
The doors, yeah.
Yes, love those videos. And then I'll
Are you talking about the big guy?
Big guy, huge guy.
Yeah, Baker is his name, and he used to be I think he is the president of the Hall of Fame. His son was an offensive lineman for the. He used to be the president of the AFL back in the day, and I remember interviewing him at Super Bowls in like 2002 when he was the president of the AFL.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, if something Baker was his, I don't think he's passed away.
Okay,
but
good.
his son was like a top 6 pick, I think.
Damn.
Never really amounted to much in the NFL. He was an offensive lineman, obviously, but no, that guy's David Baker.
David Baker.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, but I love those videos. So then, yeah, I'll cut MLB on the mound. Super cool, but not as much my thing.
Moving on, since we are in the week of opening day / opening night, all of that, what gets your juices flowing? What makes you feel it more down in your plums? Opening day, Thursday Night Football to open up week 1 of the NFL season, which now will be Wednesday. or the Thursday start of March and its madness?
Okay, I read that wrong. I thought that's the Thursday of the Masters. It doesn't change my rankings. Opening day in baseball, start, bench Thursday of Madness or the Masters, and I'll cut Thursday night football week 1.
Because we've had it a couple of times where it's like, Thursday night, boys, Tuesday.
Yeah, you're excited for the game, but it doesn't give you the same feels as those other two. Like, football's a great sport, and I love the NFL. You don't get the same romantic feels that you get with baseball or the Masters or even the NCAA tournament. That's all romantic type stuff. Football's about the game.
Yeah, that's true. I'll start Thursday, bench opening day, and cut to Thursday night. If it was that Sunday, the Sunday slate, waking up at 10:30, getting ready, red zone's coming on that first week, maybe that would be benched.
And if you're not involved in that first Thursday night game, like, you know.
We go to KU greats. Start bench cut. Darren Peterson, Joel Embiid, Andrew Wiggins.
I'll start Wiggins, I'll bench Embiid, and I'll cut Peterson.
I will start Peterson, bench Embiid, and cut Wiggins.
Wiggins had that one game against West Virginia that was really good. Peterson had a couple of games. Embiid, had a few here. But, man, if they made it to that next round of the tournament, Embiid was going to play. I heavy eye roll that one.
Well,
Well,
because somebody in the text line said, great, Darren Peterson will be the next Joel Embiid. I said, so the MVP of the league?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. I hope he does. It's fantastic if he does that.
Moving on, we go to a Royals opener. Would you rather it be like how they're doing now on Netflix, which you can watch tomorrow night on Netflix starting at 7 o'clock Central and 4 p.m. Pacific time? It's Yankees and it's Giants. Baseball's back. And it's on exclusively Netflix tomorrow night. Would you rather it be a Wednesday night Royals, a Thursday traditional opening day, 3:10 start, or the Friday night that you're getting? Tomorrow would have been, Thursday this week would have been perfect at the K.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect.
Can I edit a little bit? Could I say like a Friday day
It's
game?
called Fescoe and Dusty.
It's a Friday day game to open would be like, could you imagine like a 2 o'clock game on a Friday for the opener? Oh, God, that would be great. But I'll start the Friday night game. I'll bench the Thursday game. The Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night. It's like,
It's kind of cool. Standalone,
It
Netflix.
is. Yeah,
Everybody's
that's cool.
tuned in. And plus with the Royals, do you imagine they could have redone that? I wonder if the Royals would have been on Wednesday night with all the celebrity
With all the
stars
hype?
that they
Yeah.
had in that World Baseball Classic. Definitely not. They're the Royals. That's
They're
why it's the Giants and the Yankees. So wish in one hand and the other.
Who's going to sell subscriptions to Netflix? The Yankees or anybody else?
Correct.
I'll cut Wednesday. I'll bench Friday night and start Thursday at 3:10.
I agree with that. List completely. You said that you had your eldest watch Goodfellas. Start, bench, cut these classics. Goodfellas, Casino, Heat.
Right in that order.
Okay.
Same here.
I would start Casino.
That would be the one that would switch.
Yeah, that could switch.
Dogs,
Yeah.
talk to me, dogs.
That would be the one.
I got your head in the vice. F me, F my mutter.
That's one I should see more. I've seen that one twice. I've seen Goodfellas a million times. I should watch that one more.
Casino is, to me, 10 times better than Goodfellas, but we all have our opinions.
Wow, 10 times?
10 times. 10 times. Ace Rothstein and Nikki's relationship in that movie is unmatched. We go to the Royals. What do you like more? Because I think one of you guys should do this. Now, I know you're going to say no because your dog is massive. But I think
No chance. Yeah. She doesn't behave.
You like the giveaways? We saw there's a Jack Caglione fire bat this year. There's the Bobby Witt Jr. American, like with the eagle on the bat, representing the World Baseball Classic. So giveaway, dog night, or bark at the park?
I'm going to start dog night because they took that away from us.
Kind of, but not really.
I'll bench the gift. When is Dollar Dog Night now? Every random Tuesday
It's
or
some
something?
sort of like Tuesday day games throughout
Yeah.
the week or something. I don't know. Something weird.
Yeah. I'll bench the giveaway and I'll cut the bark at the park.
Yeah, I think same here.
How many dogs want to be out there in July?
That's my thing.
Well, they're doing it this year like in April. Would you take the Space Cadets out there or one of them?
One of them, maybe.
Comet's the one that gets the ride?
Yeah, Comet, because Copper would just be freaking out about the balls, and she's the red healer. She'd need to be hurting everything. Comet, maybe. She's huge, and if it wasn't too hot. But yeah, I'd think about it.
I think
It'd
I
be
would just
fun.
constantly be walking.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be sitting in the seat. I'd just be kind of walking around in the field
Yeah,
and
my
stop,
dog
let
would
him
not
rest and
behave.
watch.
It would just be a
No
mess.
chance. Wouldn't it be a menace, dude?
Yeah, she'd be, yeah.
You just went on spring break, so I asked, would you rather go to the beach? Would you rather go to like the nice mountains, hit the slopes in Colorado, or go to an out-of-country experience?
I'll do the out of country since we did that beach second and then cut mountains. I don't ski. None of us ski.
No, but you can sit in a hot tub and pound beers and wait for the family.
Yeah, but none of us ski. Like that would. It's so damn
I bet
expensive.
your kids would try it.
We talked about it. We talked about going up to Minnesota for the weekend because I got that small hill and trying to learn up there.
That's a good way to do it.
But we're just like, you know how expensive it is to go skiing?
Most expensive hobby ever. It's why I don't do it very often.
It's like $250 just to sit on that chair to go to the top of the hill.
Yes.
You didn't pay to stay. You didn't pay to get there. You didn't pay to rent the skis. You didn't pay. I mean, who can afford skiing?
It's absurd. It's absurd. I'll start the out of country because maybe they're at a mountain and skiing there. I'll bench the mountains and cut the beach, even though I'm going to the beach next month.
Last but not least, I have 4, so I will get rid of 1. There are 3 1 seeds left. Start, bench, cut on the belief that you think they can get it done. Duke, Zona, Michigan.
Zona, Duke, Michigan.
Zona, Michigan, Duke.
Okay.
Hey, Fab 5 ain't walking through that door.
That's also fair. Maybe it's probably best.
Maybe they know they have a timeout.
Yeah.
Remember, you want to hear this drop in the next few minutes.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
If you hear that, you win the last chance today to win a $100 Royals TV subscription to watch Royals all year for free. So in the break, when you hear that sounder, call 913-586-7965. And you get to watch the Royals for free. If you're caller number 5 and hear Mac's voice, say congratulations. So we'll do that, and we'll get right back into the show with the Sweet 16 name brands that there are here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I will tell you, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control are gearing up to make your lawn look as good as ours. And if they can make our yard look awesome, if they can take our yard from nothing and make it the best lawn on the block, imagine what they can do for your yard as well. Aspen Lawn and Pest Control is the flat-out best when it comes to fixing your lawn in Kansas City, and I know from that first-hand experience. If you're struggling with weeds or dead spots, let Aspen Lawn and Pest Control take over. They're college-educated professionals, and they get the job done right the first time. When you see those iconic blue trucks all over town, look behind them. That's where you find the best lawns in Kansas City, right there where Aspen has been doing their work since 1985. And they offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. And right now, they've got a special offer, a free estimate and up to half off your first application by just mentioning this ad. So you want to expect the best with the trusted professionals over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Rally House, shop every team in town, college and pro. Come on, it's time to go.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great. Rally House, Rally House. It's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Level up your fandom in-store or online at rallyhouse.com.
For years, Gone South has been a podcast about crime in the American South. But for our new season, we're widening the lens. Through deeply reported, narrative-driven stories, we're digging into the myths, scandals, and power structures that still shape the South, and, in a lot of ways, the country itself. Follow and listen to Gone South Season 5, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
It makes sense why Dusty's so horny.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again. So call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Some things just go together, like peanut butter and jelly, or a Casey's spicy chicken sandwich and a 49-cent medium fountain drink, or a Casey's breakfast sandwich and a 49-cent fountain drink, or even Casey's limited time hot ham and Swiss sliders and a 49-cent fountain drink. You get the idea. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. See store for details.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Today, expect a partly sunny day with a high of 66.
Weather brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right. Don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it happened.
That's
because
right.
We'll do it again twice this week. We'll give away 5 more subscriptions tomorrow and Thursday. So if you didn't win today, you've got a chance to win tomorrow and Thursday as well here on 96.5 The Fan. You just said there's some breaking news out of college basketball involving Darius Acuff, a junior.
Yeah, becomes the first NCAA men's athlete to sign a brand shoe deal. He is now a Reebok athlete.
How's that possible? We didn't have anybody in
football?
football?
It's crazy.
Well, who would you have signed in football this year, though? Jeremiah Love, probably,
those guys
right?
don't really like...
They don't do shoes.
They don't do shoes. I mean, maybe a cleat, maybe.
But, I mean, like you would have had an Adidas deal or something like that, or a Nike deal.
Also depends on the college, right?
Which, by the way, Nike, I learned, is actually pronounced Nike. And it was the goddess of like victory and winning and stuff like that. So we butchered another word in America.
Like Adidas and Nike.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Dang, dude, those are some fresh Nikes you got on there.
Yeah, Nike.
That's a slip word, though. You know, that's a... Oof.
The Adidas is so soccer, too.
Adidas. That's great for him. I wonder, what'd you say that deal's worth?
No details yet on that. which will be interesting to see when that comes out. But yeah, Reebok athlete is Darius Acuff Jr. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm more shocked than anything that we didn't see anybody in football. You don't think the quarterback out there who can play for, the Raiders got anything?
Yeah, I just think that basketball is, thanks to
Different.
Michael Jordan, the shoe affiliates the player, right? Like, what is the quote that Matt Damon gives him in that? Have you seen that movie, Air?
I have not.
I've not.
It's somebody gives
Air
Matt.
Bud?
It's the guy that creates the shoe tells.
Yes,
Matt
Michael Jordan.
Damon.
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
And he says
Great
something
movie.
about like it's not what the shoe is; it's the foot that's in the shoe, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not. It's the whatever the quote is, but it's more so about like the most important thing about the shoe is who's wearing it.
Yeah.
and that's how they kind of sell it. And that movie's awesome.
I
dude.
guess I'm mixing my stuff here. I'm thinking of brands, not just the actual shoe.
The shoe.
Yes.
Yes.
I was thinking he had a Reebok deal. I wasn't thinking
yeah.
like he has his own shoe.
No, Fernando Mendoza's already got Fortnite deals. He's taking picture with Fortnite crowns and hitting up former Olympian gold athletes online, trying to
Get a
hit on
date?
them. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who's he hitting on?
Alyssa Liu, that ice figure skater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for
He
him.
tagged her and like was
What?
he tagged her in a post. I don't think that's that weird to say. Tagged her in a post. It's not.
no, you just
Yeah.
calm down. It's all right.
I'm-
It just
yeah,
it was a hard pause after you said he tagged her.
Right. I don't think that would have been weird. Either way,
Okay.
I tagged her in a post. And yeah, it was
you,
funny.
Dusty.
It was funny. Yeah.
I guess I'll just go to Saturday detention for that one. 42 years ago today, the Breakfast Club had their Saturday detention.
Hell yeah, great movie.
Fantastic
Great
movie.
I mean, I said it was ageless, but then I had to backtrack that because you don't really go to detention in Saturday anymore. I think nowadays, I mean, at least it was a little bit. If like we had late starts in school, if you were one of those disciplined students or you didn't have you had a grade below a C, you had to come in at the normal time, not the late time. But
I think it is timeless, though, because I think my kids have seen it. And to me, that's what makes it timeless, right? If it goes on from generation to generation and everybody can like it, I think you're right, though. I think it is a timeless movie.
yeah. I mean, because we all know I feel like that song lasts forever too. Like, don't forget me. Yeah, of course.
Forget about me.
Damn, that's crazy about Acuff. Just now, I mean, look, it took him 5 postseason games to get that deal. Should get that deal before the SEC tournament started, where he was just. You should look at his last 5 games in playoff basketball. From the
Insane.
SEC tournament to this, it's nuts. And he'll play Thursday night. Should be a good game. Them versus Arizona. Then again, Arizona could just wipe the floor with anybody because they're
So deep,
fantastic.
so good,
Yet no
yeah.
first team, second team, or third team All-American. But hey, what do I know? I just watched the game and complain. But there is
Sound like an old man. You said earlier today, you said you're starting to sound like your dad a little bit. I said, yeah, I'm starting to sound like my dad. That was a dad moment right there. I'll just sit at the TV and complain.
Well, you just get humbled by people that have their opinions as well. But in the Sweet 16, there is a lot of marquee matchups with big name brands, and I think one of the topics that we saw everywhere yesterday, I know Danny Parkins was big on it, that he says this first weekend of the tournament wasn't good for those people that enjoy the surprise story. But we did get surprise stories, and he talks about. A couple of times he was talking about how there were a lot of blowouts in this first round. Drew Nixon, who got into it with somebody from the AP on Twitter, was like, actually, there was like 5 blowout games. The rest were not considered what you would consider a blowout. Mm-hmm. I don't mind where the tournament is today because I was telling Mac and the listeners yesterday when I was doing After Hours a couple years back, I was like, this is the last time that you can think a bracket is going to be as accurate. Not that anybody ever has an accurate bracket, but for the most part, you could take the big name schools and just, shuffle them through. And when I'm talking big name schools, I'm not talking Iowa, I'm not talking Nebraska, I'm not talking Texas, I'm not talking Tennessee. Now, I know Tennessee's had success in college basketball, but like nowadays, there is more, in my opinion, equality. It's just not with the VCUs of the world, the Bishop Hope School that gets to the Sweet 16 or the Chicago, Illinois team, the Loyola Chicago team that get there. Now you have Ben McCollum, who went from from Northwest Missouri State to Drake to Iowa, and Fred Hoiberg, who went from Iowa State to the NBA back to Nebraska and gets them their first win. To me, those are fun, good stories.
Absolutely.
They just happen to be 2 major universities in the Big Ten, not the little Cinderella schools.
No, you're right about that. I mean, the Cinderella story doesn't have to be the small school anymore. It can be a big name school that's never had the success, but now with the era of college basketball and college sports that we're in, it allows the bigger schools that maybe have not had that success to have that success if they do it the right way. And I think, if more people look at it from your perspective, Dusty, I think they'll have a better appreciation of where the NCAA tournament was. There's no secret. I was out of the country. Nobody's talking about nobody has a bracket in Greece, right? We're watching Greece basketball, and I'm like, I don't even know who any of these players are. And it was fun. It was a fun watch, but nobody's talking about college basketball over there. So you come back and you look at the bracket, and I'm looking at it yesterday, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of good programs that are in this mix, a lot of big-name programs that haven't been this far. Hell, Nebraska and Iowa, one of those two schools is going to be playing for the right to go to the Final Four. And Nebraska's never won a tournament game. They've won 2 this year. That is a Cinderella success story from an organization that's been around forever, right? Nebraska's been around in the 1800s when that university was founded. Here we sit now in 2026, and they just finally won their first tournament game ever. I like that story. I like what Illinois is doing with a local kid. You've got that connection right now. So there are a lot of good stories. It just depends on how you want to approach those stories. And you said something there, like the Cinderella story is just not the little guy anymore. It's the bigger program that hasn't really been able to have the success, or the bigger name program that hasn't been able to have the success. And if you view it that way and you start to look at it from that lens and that perspective, maybe your opinion will change. But I like where the NCAA tournament is right now and a lot of these schools that are left.
I think the other thing, and I really want to get Mac's perspective on this, because he continues more so into the development of these players into the NBA. Whereas like before, if I told you before that the Cinderella story that is normally a VCU or a, whatever, East Tennessee State or Florida Georgia Line, whatever it may be, like you'd say, yeah, I like that. It's fun. But if I told you that normally in the tournament there was really one freshman or one player that we put our attention on and hope that they would go far to do it. I think Zion Williamson was a perfect example of that. But I said the Cinderellas are gone because of NIL, but now there's going to be 8 freshmen that are all going to get drafted in the first round, and you can watch them throughout all the weekend. I think you'd be more in tune to watch these kids develop their attitude and their next level of athleticism in the sport. And then not only that, but that might help you leapfrog into the NBA. We know nobody here has a local team. Mac likes the Celtics because, again, that's the team he grew up watching because he didn't have a local team to watch. And now there's a possibility that somebody in this, March Madness tournament is going to be drafted by a team, and they're going to play next year. And it's kind of like one of those things where now instead of just being like Zion Williamson or Adam Morrison or, Cooper Flagg, now it's Acuff, Peterson, DeBanza, all these guys, Bradley at Arizona, all the Cameron Boozer, Wagler at Illinois, all these players, you can now turn a game and be like, oh, yeah, this is a matchup. Now, watch this Acuff kid against Bradley. Let's watch this matchup.
Okay.
Instead of knowing that it's Arizona and Alabama or in Arkansas.
I want you to tell that to the person who sits around and tells me they don't watch the NBA because they don't know any of the players because nobody from college goes to the NBA.
Well, now's your opportunity because you have the best draft in NBA in 23 years upcoming.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have taken away now the quote-unquote excuse that people use when they say, well, I don't watch the NBA because the college players never go, and I don't know any of these guys that are getting drafted. Well, now there's a good opportunity that every guy that gets drafted in the top 10 you have seen play and you've watched play this weekend. So that should get your attention over to the NBA. It won't because we root for our teams and, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And that's how we act as sports fans. We say we want things. Then when those things happen, we find ways to not want those things. But like if you're one of those basketball fans that does complain all the time that the college kids aren't going to the NBA and it's all the international kids that get drafted and you don't know who anybody is in this league, well, your argument is full of holes right now because it's going to be all of these kids that you've been watching for the last couple of weeks in March dominate.
And I'd love to get Ian Eagle's perspective on this because we'll be joined by Ian here in just a few minutes or just a few seconds because he is one of those voices of college basketball.
Yeah,
and he's had
the
those,
NBA.
And for sure. And maybe just a voice of basketball. And I think it's interesting because I'd wonder, because when you do a broadcast, you're like, you look at the game, you're like, oh, man, we got Illinois, Houston.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we need, right? Like, I know there are other players that are good on these teams, but imagine being like, man, 5 years ago, you're like, man, we got Iowa, Nebraska. Now you're going, do you guys see who we got?
Mm-hmm.
We got Iowa, Nebraska at whatever time on Thursday. We're excited for that game. But also how many opportunities you have to get a storyline of a player
right.
instead of getting this VCU versus, I don't know, Arizona, and you're like, well, this game might be over.
Mm-hmm.
Because chances are that game, I would say 85% of the chances are that game is going to end with at least a 15-point differential with the more dominant team once you get to this level of
You
the
should
tournament.
see some really competitive games, too, coming up. I mean, I think it's really good for the tournament to have a lot of these name brand schools in there. It's just different, and that's okay. It's okay to adjust. It's okay to change your line of thinking. You know, we used to talk about it all the time. When you gather new information, like say you have an opinion that you don't like, I don't know, I just saw a strawberry on the screen. You don't like strawberries, but you go to some place that has the freshest, juiciest strawberries you ever had. You take a bite, you're like, wow, I really like strawberries now. It's okay to change your opinion based on facts that are gathered throughout the process. And so right now at the NCAA tournament, you may sit there and go, oh, I want to see all of these, you know, the Cinderella schools. But at the end of the day, Cinderella schools are never really there at this point in time. And now we do have a Cinderella school in in Iowa and in Nebraska. Two schools that you have not seen really have much success in the NCAA tournament. Again, playing for the possible right to go to the Final Four. That's crazy to me.
We are now joined by Ian Eagle as he joins us here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. You've talked to Mac Morey. Ian, thank you for joining us here today. And I want to ask that question we just brought up. If I told you the super Cinderella stories of the Loyola Chicagos are gone, but now instead of having one, maybe two big-name players to follow in this tournament, man, Ian, you've got about 10 or 11 that you get to focus on and have the opportunity to win multiple games of. Is that fair to take in more talent from freshmen, but take away what are those Cinderella stories?
Well, first of all, I don't like strawberries, so I don't know how you knew that. I know, and that's a me thing.
Yeah.
I understand. That's not a society issue. That's a me thing.
No, it is a you. It is a you thing, I guess.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. I'm self-aware. I fully recognize that. But your point is very well taken. I think what ends up happening a lot when it comes to the NCAA tournament is we romanticize certain things, and because we've had these moments, these flashes, the VCUs, the George Masons, the Loyola Chicagos, that we think, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. And what it's supposed to be is unpredictable. And while you might say, well, chalk means that it's predictable, within the predictability, there are moments and there are stretches of games that will last in your memory bank. What High Point did and how they handled themselves, that's real. That's something that now for years after 2026, you'll remember that they played an exceptional game, and it was among the more dramatic moments of the 2026 NCAA tournament. What I realized last year compared to the year before, the last 2 years that I called the Final Four, UConn plowed through the competition 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was not that intriguing. It was excellent basketball that UConn played, and they were the best team clearly in the country, and they won back-to-back championships. Last year, once NIL really settled in and teams figured out how to allot their money, how to identify talent, how to create chemistry, we did have the four best teams in college basketball battling at the Final Four, and we had three excellent games. Duke and Houston was phenomenal. Came down to the wire, a comeback by the Cougars. Auburn, Florida was a battle. They're going blow for blow in that matchup. And then the national championship comes down to one possession where this is an anomaly. A team doesn't even get a shot off on the final possession because of the defense that was played, and Florida wins the national championship. I think the fact that Nebraska and Iowa are a part of this thing, and nobody thought they would be, yes, they're from the Big Ten, but that is what this tournament is all about, that there's someone in this field that still has a chance to cut down the net that you did not anticipate. And because it's not from a mid-major program doesn't mean that the tournament is not what it once was.
Yeah, and that was kind of my thought too, Ian. I see Nebraska and Iowa. I'm like, man, Nebraska's never won a tournament game. They're more of a Cinderella than maybe anybody that's in the NCAA tournament this year. For the first time in their history, they have tournament wins.
100%. And Iowa, and let's face facts, they changed everything. They changed their coach. Fran McCaffrey had been there 15 years. Ben McCollum was coaching Division II basketball, and he was doing it really well. And he continues to prove at Drake and then here that he's a winner. He knows how to build a program. He knows how to get guys connected. And that should be applauded, by the way, in this day and age of someone that just has the right formula and the secret sauce of team building, and they're getting rewarded for it by being a part of the Sweet 16 with a chance to go to the Elite Eight. We have powerhouses. I'm working in D.C. If you would have told me that that was the Final Four, I would have said, all right, yeah, let's go. I'll sign up for that right now. That shows you how good this field is, and the fact that we have 4 big-time programs going at it, and a little bit of the past. St. John's hasn't been in this thing since 1999. They haven't been to a Sweet 16. That's a long time for a program that is very proud, that has a rich history, and it also shows you that they hired the right guy to completely retool the program, and they have enough money to do it.
You mentioned program builder. Is that still a possibility in college basketball today?
I think it is. I think there's still something to be said for chemistry and for doing it the right way. I tend to believe that the programs that have money can make big mistakes and bounce back because they still have the donors. You know, Kansas, as a great example, they have as much money as anybody. They have put funds and resources to basketball more so than anyone else. This hasn't been a great run for Bill Self's team, and it's not just based on the fact, Bill forgot how to coach. He's a great coach. But the mix of players you bring in, until you see it, until it's out there on the court, until the dynamic and chemistry is formed, you don't really know. And I know the perception is, hey, if you have 4-year guys, they know how to play with one another. That's great. That theory is great. And Michigan State is probably the closest thing that we'll find right now to that type of program that keeps their talent, that develops their talent. It's just not where we are in college basketball. So if you just happen to bring in the right mix of players like Iowa did, guys that have played together, some of these guys were playing Division II. He just saw something in them that has led to success. And in crunch time, there's a trust. They know that they can lean on one another. Doesn't mean you win a national championship, but hey, it's the second weekend of the tournament, and they're still dancing.
So talking to Iron Eagle here, and I'm going to ask you the tough question that everybody has an opinion over so far. You, sir, have the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. Who are you taking?
Oh, man. That is a very difficult one. I would tell you that it may be based on who's making the pick. If you're the Indiana Pacers, you might be more comfortable with Cam Boozer than you are with A.J. DeBonta, based on what you already have on your roster, based on what it is you're looking for in connecting a team. But if you're the Sacramento Kings, you say that, no, we got to go A.J. DeBonta. That's the guy. Darius Acuff has obviously now emerged quite a bit. He just looks like an NBA player. He looks like an NBA lead guard when he's out there. You could just tell how certain guys carry themselves, how they move, how they glide up the floor. They stand out above others that are playing the same position. And then the Peterson part of it, which is really interesting, had a Kansas game this year, obviously watched him the other night. There's a lot of obvious raw ability with him. I think his game will translate. I don't know if he's taken himself out of the top 3 just based on what took place over the course of the year. The fact of the matter is, if he was hurt and if it was a legitimate issue, then they probably should have just addressed it head on, as opposed to the speculation that it just didn't help him. But ultimately, teams, they're going to do what's best for them. And I remember very vividly certain college players that I thought were surefire NBA stars that didn't turn out that way because you don't know what's on the inside, and then flip it. Guys that I saw in college that I thought, all right, he might find a role, and they emerge as superstars. There's a part of this equation that you can't quantify, and that's what someone is made of, and their desire and their work ethic, and just watching even 32 or 33 college games isn't enough to determine whether or not that person is going to truly make it. There's more to it.
No doubt. And we're going to leave you with this one, Ian, because I thought about this after you were just talking about all that. You say you remember vividly and all these sort of things. When did you know Noah was going to be that guy? Because that voice, man, it's like you're born into it. Yeah. When were you at the Eagle household? You're like, oh man, he's going to be better than me maybe one day.
Yeah, birth. I knew it at birth.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've talked about you and your son over the years. I love him, and I think he's such a talent, Ian. He's so good. You are as well, but he's so good to watch.
The funniest part, he was doing radio in Greenville, which just happened by complete accident. They had already assigned all their regions Westwood won, so he had gotten that assignment 3 weeks earlier, and then the bracket comes out, and we ended up there. And I didn't know they were going to do it. They show a shot of him, then they come over, show a shot of me during one of the games. And Tracy Wolfson joked that, and they're sharing a room, which I thought everybody would have thought was an actual joke. I got like 25 texts from people after that, like, that's so cool. You guys are sharing a room. I'm like, well, what are you, crazy? Not sharing a room. I have a job. This is my job, man. What do you think?
It is radio, Ian, so, I mean.
I know. Westwood probably would have been interested if I was willing.
Yes. That's great. So when he was born, he just came out and goes, at the buzzer.
Yeah.
Birth.
That's so weird that you said it. Those were his first words. Amazing.
Well, hey, keep doing a great job, Ian. We love you from this show. We'd love to have you on again later on in this tournament. Enjoy. What game? I'm sorry for being ignorant.
No, you're good.
What game are you calling on Thursday?
I am in D.C., so we have Duke St. John's and we have UConn, Michigan State. A lot of storylines there.
Boy, did you get the filet mignon?
Yeah, that's what happens when you're the best, right?
All right. Well, Ian, take care, man. We'll talk to you again shortly. We appreciate the time. We know you're a busy man.
Anytime.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Ian.
it. Enjoy the madness. See you.
Is Ian Eagle. What a treasure.
He's the best. He's just so good.
Did you know your son was a prodigy birth?
Yeah. That's why he's the best, because he's like, did he not say exactly what I said about Darren Peterson an hour and a half ago?
And on that note, we'll wrap this show
Control
up.
the message. It's not that hard.
We'll wrap this show up on the other side and get you ready for the rest of the day here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carlos Esteves, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, if you want to save over $1,000 per month, then my friends at Golden Oak Lending may be just the spot for you. Because if you take their free mortgage checkup and you tell them all about your financial life and where you are and where you want to go, then Golden Oak is going to get to work to see if they can save you over $1,000 per month. Because at Golden Oak Lending, the average cash-out customer saves $1,104 per month. And right now, if you refinance with Golden Oak Lending, you can go 2 months without having to make a mortgage payment. And the free mortgage checkup is awesome. I love talking to the folks over at Golden Oak Lending because you don't have to fill out any paperwork. There's no credit card or anything like that. It's just a conversation with you and the folks at Golden Oak Lending. You tell them where you are and where you want to go. Then they get to work, and they'll see if there's a mortgage better than the one that you're in right now. If there is, great, you are on your way. If not, hey, they'll tell you to sit tight, and when the mortgage rates do get to a lower spot, they will call you. Once you're in their system, you're part of their family. So call them now and take that free mortgage checkup. 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD, and let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
It's March, and that means there's no better time to start betting with Circa Sports. It doesn't matter how you're planning on betting the mayhem. Picking individual games, futures to make it through the bracket, props on your favorite players, or more. Circa Sports has you covered. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Baseball is back. Opening night is one exclusive game, and it's live on Netflix. On Wednesday, March 25th, the New York Yankees, led by 7-time All-Star Aaron Judge, head to the Bay Area to face Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. A brand new way to watch Major League Baseball, and it all starts here. MLB opening night, Yankees vs. Giants, live on Netflix, Wednesday, March 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off an HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 4 exclusions apply.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Well, we finally made it. It's spring, and I have spring fever. I love getting outside and cooking on the flat top or the grill, and Hy-Vee has the best meat department in KC. They've got the freshest, top-quality cuts of corn-fed beef from the Midwest and the best prices in town. They also have bacon-wrapped chicken breast and stuffed pork chops, plus the fresh seafood we love at home. Make it a meal with a twice-baked potato. It's the best meat department in town. They've got the steaks, they've got the chicken, they've got the seafood, and you can get it only at Hy-Vee.
3, 2, 1. It's mid-March, and Kansas City is crazy about college hoops. Pick your bracket, call your friends, and count on Hy-Vee for all your game day snacks. Hy-Vee makes your watch party easy with a huge selection of ready-to-serve party trays, boneless wings, barbecue, sushi, pizza, and fresh bakery goods. Order ahead through the Hy-Vee app, online, or at your favorite store. Even if your bracket is a bust, your watch party will be a winner only at Hy-Vee.
We're back. It's the final segment here on a Tuesday. This show went by fast. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday. No, you two guys will, especially towards when the sun goes down.
I just want to win, Jen. I got that new deck of cards over in Greece. We're going to play a game tonight. Hey, Mac asked me in break. He goes, would you let me see those cards too?
Okay. No, he didn't. You guys going to split 26 and then exchange after you're done?
Max going to call you. Oh, he split 8s.
Oh.
And aces.
Max going to call you in 2 weeks back. Dude, I'm done with 26 files. We're on the second one. Slow down, young whippersnapper. Can't get you ready for it enough. Friday night, we're going to be at Maloney's doing some stuff out there for the Royal stuff. Mac and I are going to get there a little earlier for you. I'm sure you want to get out there as early as possible. It is Friday. It is the Royals' first game. Everybody's going to be ready for it. The place will be packed.
Yep.
Weather should be.
Maloney will be ready for it. He's got dude wipes in the bathrooms now.
At least, do they have those in Greece?
I brought my own.
Oh.
And I even texted Maloney yesterday. I'm not going to lie. I said, final day on the trip, final dude wipe. You want to know what his response was?
Dude.
Dude, flex. No, he responded back and said, well done on allocation.
Nice.
So, yeah, we'll be out there. The game's at 6:15. The Royals play. You can hear that game on 96.5 The Fan as well. But we'll be out there. Max said we're shooting videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to do something.
Okay.
I got word from the boss yesterday. We'll shoot some videos. We'll be out there.
Okay.
Yes.
Surfsides will be everywhere.
Yes.
And, I can promise you that. So, yeah, Friday at Maloney's, we'll all be there celebrating the opening night of the Kansas City Royals.
Is Ron going to be there, though, did you say?
Ron
Maloney.
Oh, I thought you were saying Ron Slay. I was like, I hope
Rob's there.
We need to get Ron Slay on the show sometime this week because his Tennessee
Yes.
Vols play on Friday night back, and you
Yes.
got all the question of the world for Ron
Yes.
Slay.
I have texted him yesterday. He's going to get back to me today, so we will hopefully have him later in the week.
Oh, Syracuse did hire Jerry McNamara.
Good.
Yeah.
Your boy called that last week.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
He did.
It was easy.
It was that's
That
an
was
easy call,
right?
Yeah,
It made sense.
Yeah. Makes sense now. Let's see what happens.
Did you imagine if Siena beat Duke? We would never have this. We'd have never had this Cinderella conversation.
No.
They'd have been like, see, Siena did it.
And then they would have gotten blown up by 40 the next
And
game.
then you just seen St.
Exactly.
John's.
And as Ian said, does that make it for compelling basketball? Like he was talking about the UConn stuff, right? And running through the tournament. Nobody was compelled by that.
Ian Eagle's awesome. Even just in that 30 seconds on the phone, he's making jokes, cracking jokes,
He's the
being
best.
personable. He's just hilarious, man.
He's the best.
I mean, the text line said Ian Eagle's extremely underrated. I totally agree.
Do you ever see the podcast that him and his son were doing during COVID?
No.
It's so great. My friend and I were doing like some podcasts during COVID. We had Ian on, and like he's sitting there with his son. They're doing the same type of stuff, and father and son calling like, oh, mom's in the kitchen, like.
Yes. That's great.
Enjoy the madness.
It's awesome.
He's good because, and I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to rub people the wrong way. He's good because he started in the business kind of doing what we do in talk radio. And I find this to be a very, very, very hard medium to do. I don't think anybody can do it. You have to have the right personality and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the play-by-play guys cannot do what we do. A lot of the TV anchors cannot do what we do. I'd like to say we can do most of what everybody else can. I think, and again, I'm not trying to, toot our own horn. I think we have the most challenging job of all the media out there. 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, be compelling constantly. Newspaper writers don't have to worry about that. Their paper don't even exist anymore. Play-by-play guy, you're as compelling as the game is, but if the game's bad, you shouldn't be. And then the TV newscaster reads his news stuff, So I think what we do, if you can do this job, you can pretty much do anything in the media. And Ian got his start at kind of WFAN, doing the updates, doing the talk radio, having that background. He has that personality. You got to have that personality to be able to do the games in the way that he does it. And his son's got the personality times 10. It's
so funny. His son's hilarious.
It's great. His son's so good at what he does, man. And I love talking to Ian about his kid because that's the way a father should be. So proud of your kid. No matter what they do, be proud of your kids. I'm proud of you and Dusty for not getting kicked off the air for a week. And then but I'm not proud of my other son, Alex Missouri Gold. I mean, his last name is even a Missouri color.
It's Alexander Gold, I believe.
Yeah, Alexander Gold. I guess
You're a Missouri Tiger.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Alex, you're a Missouri Tiger.
There it is.
I didn't know Vern said this.
I'm turning into you, Binkley.
Oh, no.
Do we have our drop for tomorrow?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm turning into you, Binkley.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, it'll be tomorrow.
All right.
5 more.
Yeah, you want to hear that sounder tomorrow. We'll be doing it twice at 7 o'clock. We'll be doing it twice at 8 o'clock and once at 9 o'clock. I am not describing Mac and Bob's evening with the grease cards. I am describing what you can have a chance at tomorrow winning a Royals package, a $100 value to watch the Royals for free all year long.
Crazy.
It's great.
Great deal.
Somebody said on the text line, can we just get the $100 cash? Damn it, dude. Damn it.
That's funny, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah, we'll just give you the $100.
Yeah, sure.
No.
Mac will write a check.
Some news out of today. Darius Acuff Jr. is Reebok's next signature star.
Good for him.
And LeBron is not going to be back with the Lakers either.
Some news come out with that?
Yeah. Sam Acuff or Amick is reporting that.
Darius is
Dad. Sam?
Yeah.
He's reporting that he's out after the season.
Yeah, that many executives around the league think he's done with the Lakers and he'll either be in, well, you can guess,
Cleveland.
or
Miami?
No.
Knicks?
Nope.
I don't know.
Golden State.
Yeah.
Steph
That's been a
Curry.
rumor. Yeah, him and Steph. Yes.
Like that's like going to watch Anselmo do a video. You know, it's old people, man.
Do you want you want some more heartstrings to be pulled on that dog story you told earlier?
Mm-hmm.
So we told you this earlier. 7 dogs were stolen from their owners, and they went viral for escaping their captors and making their way home. The group is believed to have traveled 17 kilometers, a little bit over 10 miles together, led by a corgi across the highway and fields. Here's the actual story. The corgi was the one leading them home. The German Shepherd was injured. The dogs kept a protective formation around the German Shepherd. The corgi stopped often to make sure they were still okay. It took them 2 days to get home. They were all neighborhood friends. The last line says, "I'm going to cry."
Oh, man.
Wow.
Dogs, dude.
Homeward bound. That is amazing.
Homeward bound. I want to get gummed out, drink 2 bottles of wine, and cry my ass off.
Dusty or Bob, you haven't seen that one? You should watch that one.
I
Great.
can't.
Yes, you can. It's a great story.
Look,
it's a great cry. It's a good cry.
Is it? Because I
Yes.
had one of those yesterday. My daughter's 15, and since she turned 15, that song 15 by Taylor Swift, I cry every single time. And we're on the flight yesterday, and that song starts, and I text her. I go, 15 is on. I'm starting to cry. She goes, why don't you skip that song and not cry?
We'll get back to it tomorrow on a Wednesday. Jay Binkley will join us at 6:45, and you have 5 more chances at a free Royals TV subscription for the entire year. 5 chances tomorrow. Go do something nice for somebody. You never know. It can change their day, their week, their month, their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay kind, stay safe, stay groovy. Coming up next, it's Cody Golden Drew from 10 to 2. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Jack Caglione, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Weekday mornings starting at 6 right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Sex, intimacy, love. These 3 things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Some things just go together, like peanut butter and jelly, or a Casey's spicy chicken sandwich and a 49-cent medium fountain drink, or a Casey's breakfast sandwich and a 49-cent fountain drink, or even Casey's limited time hot ham and Swiss sliders and a 49-cent fountain drink. You get the idea. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. See store for details.
Feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. Turn to Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. With temperatures rising, now's the time to make sure your AC is ready to keep you cool. Whether it's your home or your business, Comfort Systems services both residential and commercial systems across the Kansas City area. Call today for a fast tune-up, repair, or a system upgrade so you can stay cool all summer long. Family owned and operated since 1990, comforting people is what we do. Comfort Systems is right for you. MyComfortSystems.com.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when